All right, everyone. This is my full arena card review for the United in Stormwind expansion. And if you guys have watched our previous reviews, you'll know that the scale is from 1 to 5, but we have modified things slightly recently where an average card, sorry, not an average card, but we're setting the, we're setting the average card as a 3/4 now. Why are words so hard? I blame chat. This is your guys' fault. So it's 1 to 5 with 3 being average and representing a 3 mana 3/4. Okay? 3 average, and it's a 3 mana 3/4. Okay, just because like power level's gotten kind of crazy, so you know I think it used to be that'd be like a 3 would be a 3/3, but yeah. And I left up this quest just to say we're not doing quests. Okay, quests, we have confirmation they're not going to be in arena, and it would take a long time to review them anyways, so we are skipping the quest for the review. We'll start with Demon Hunter, and we'll go down alphabetically, ending with the neutrals. Okay, I hope you guys are really excited. I am too, and you're in the right spot for the premier arena card review. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Some people say, oh, Drans gives everything a 4.5. No, my reviews are known to be perfect, so you're in for a treat. Okay, skipping the quest. Skipping the quest. Starting with Metamorphin. 1 mana, 1/2, Murloc tag, taunt. Battle cry. If you've cast a fell spell this turn, gain +2/+2. It's not very good. It's not very good. So, like, a lot of Demon Hunter spells are fell cards, but in arena, the chances that you have this card and a fell card together at the same time, in my opinion, is pretty rare. So if you, let's say in the best case you do have it activate, it's a 3/4. I mean, that's good, right? But like the premier time is you play it on turn 2 with 1 drop plus a 1 mana fell spell, right? So and a 1 mana 1/2 is terrible. I don't want a 1 mana 1/2 in my deck. So I think this card, I'm seeing chat, some people think it's really good. I don't think so. I think you guys are overestimating the amount of time you're gonna have spells. Like, how often are our decks just full of minions? So I don't think this card's that good. I'm gonna say it's a 2. It's between a 2 and a 2.5 for me. I'll go with a 2.5. But it could be a 2. It could be. I'll go with 2.5, but it could be a 2. All right. Sigil of Alacrity. This is my first time ever looking at this card, by the way. 1 mana, one mana, shadow spell. At the start of your next turn, draw a card and reduce its cost by 1. What? It must be something like for constructed, right? Yeah, with like quests or something. This is terrible. Like, really terrible, right? Like 1 terrible. Bad. Oh, wait, hold on a second. It gives you an extra card. Wait a second. I thought it was just reducing. Wait. Back up, Papega. So I was thinking it just reduces the cost of your 1 draw that you normally get, right? That was what I was thinking. That's terrible. But you do get a card. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I still don't love it. But 1 mana, draw a card and get a reduction on it actually is not bad now that I think about it. because it replaces itself. So it's a card you'd want to have at the start of the game, unless you have a 1-drop, right? Which you don't have a 1-drop to play on 1 that often, right? And it's worse later on, but you can probably find a time to like fit it in, right? So I still don't think it's great. I'm gonna go with a 2 point. Should we just go 2.5 again, back to back? It's not terrible. I'll bump it up to a 3. I'm okay with that. Because on 1, it should be good, right? Because you have to think about the high roll time. If you have this on 1 and then you draw a 3-drop and then you can play it on 2, that's insane, right? So I actually don't think it's that bad. 3 is too high, you're high. How does that sound? Fell Barrage. 2 mana. Deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy twice. Fell spell. Interesting. So it's lowest health enemy. So this is a fun card. I like the design on this card. So if the hero, if like your opponent's really low, you can actually use it on face. Right? Lowest health enemy twice. So it could be 2 mana, deal 4 if, like, you know, you clear their other minions or they're the lowest or whatever it is. I think it's really good. It's kind of hard to evaluate, but if your opponent has 1 minion, it's a 4 health minion, then it just kills it, right? So it's like a Shadow Bolt effect for 2 mana. If they have 2 low health minions, it kills it. Like, there's not many times where it's not going to be at least good, right? I actually like it a lot. 4? I think 4 is pretty good. Maybe not quite 4.5. There's a lot of good Demon Hunter spells, but I think 4 is good. All right. Chaos Leech. 3 mana, lifesteal. Fell spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Outcast, deal 5 instead. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Outcast, deal 5 instead. This card seems like okay to like good, but it's not great. Like, if you think about it compared to I-Beam, like I-Beam, being able to play it for 1 mana is a huge deal. Going from dealing 2 more damage versus a 2 mana reduction, like I-Beam is way better, right? But it's not bad. Average? I'm feeling it's like a 2.5 to a 3. 5, I mean, the healing is relevant. We can go 2.5. That's fine. Not a top tier card, but not bad. Lion's Frenzy. 3 mana, 0/2 weapon? Has attack equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn? What the fuck is this? So you have to play it with like Skull or something, I guess? It's a 1. It's definitely a 1. You know, obviously it's like a constructed card. You draw a lot of cards and then, you know. Oh, it's all, yeah, so it's always a 1/2. Yeah, that's probably correct, right? Because you drew 1 card. So if you drew 2 cards, that's still so bad. I think it's just a 1. Like, maybe it's a 1.5, but it's just too expensive. Yeah. Use it with like Octosari. I mean, Octosari will be around for this card in Arena. That's pretty funny. Someone will do that, and then everyone will be like, Dreads, look at how insane it is. Wow. Okay. Fell Gorger. 4 mana, 4/3. Battlecry, draw Fell spell, reduce its cost by 2. Ooh. So you have to have a fail spell in your deck, but you probably will, right? At least have one most of the time. 4 mana 4/3 is pretty weak these days, but I think it's good. I think it's above average. The reduction is a big deal. Like if you draw a cheap fail spell, you might be able to play it in the same turn, right? I think it's pretty good. Like 3.54-ish type rating. Obviously, if you don't have a fail spell in your deck, it's terrible. And sometimes it won't be that good, but I'll go with 3.5. That seems fair. Trying to think about the pool of fail spells. Chat, what are we losing? Because with losing Ashes of Outland, we lose quite a few, right? I mean, obviously we just saw 2, so I guess those 2 are coming back, but I'm trying to think about which ones would be really good with it. Like I-Beam is still a thing, right? I'm assuming. And yeah, we'll go with 3.5 on this one. Persistent Peddler, 4 mana 4/3, tradable. So this is the first time we've seen the tradable keyword, so I'll mention what it does quickly. So what it means is that for 1 mana, you can drag this card back into your deck and exchange it for another card. So that's what when you see the tradable tag, the new keyword for the expansion. So yeah, 4 mana 4/3 tradable. Death Rattle, summon a Persistent Peddler from your deck. So yeah, I mean, this card, it just depends on how many peddlers you can draft. Like if you actually, because in Arena, in theory, you could have like 3 or 4, right? Like in theory. So I mean, I think on average, I guess the question is, on average, will you get 2 of these? Because the thing about the tradable of this card is if you just have 2 of them, it's still pretty easy to make the effect go off. Because if you have both of them in your hand, you just trade one of them back into your deck when you play this or whatever, right? So it makes it very easy to get the effect, which I like. I don't know. I think this card, it's got a lot of potential, but it's hard to give an overall rating to, because if you only have 1 Persistent Peddler in your deck, it's garbage, right? It's a 4 mana 4/3. If you don't, if you have like 3, then it's really good. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Since it's rare, it's probably a little bit harder to make work. So I'm gonna give it a very mediocre 3. Maybe I'm gonna give it 3.5. Actually, I feel like it has, the upside is enough that I'll go a little bit above average, but it's probably, you know, I don't know. It's in the range of like 2.5 to 3.5, in my opinion. You guys don't like the 3.5. Just wait till I draft 4 of these. Huh? Just wait, and then you do realize, everyone joking, what if you do get a few of these? Like, you know how insane this card is if you actually get a few of these? Like, your opponent will just lose. They just leave. Like, sometimes I don't think people realize how insane the effect is. On average, you won't have more than 1. How do you know? How do you know what they're gonna do? Maybe the rare rate will be up this time. Huh? How do you know? 3.5. I'm gonna win games with this, and you're gonna be like, damn, Dreads, you're insanely intelligent. Ire-Bound Brute. 7 mana, 6/7. Taunt. Costs 1 less for each card drawn this turn. Oh, wait, this is good, right? Because it's always going to cost... it's always going to be a 6 mana, 6/7 taunt. Because you draw, right? You draw 1. Pretty good. And if you draw... yeah, and if you draw like 2 or 3... like, most of the Demon Hunter draw is pretty cheap, too. I like it. I like it a lot. 4? I think it's like a 4. 4.5, you got to go up to, like, pretty rarefied territory, in my opinion. And, like, a 6... and a 6/7 is good, but it's not... like an amazing, amazing stat line anymore. Like, it's fine, right? So, yeah, tradable's a draw too. Yep, yep. So you can like trade, and then it's like it doesn't really affect it. So I'm gonna go with 4. Jace Darkweaver, 8 mana, 7/5, legendary. Battlecry, cast all fel spells you've played this game, targets enemies if possible. Oh man, this is one of those that's really hard to evaluate for Arena. You know, I don't think I'll take it a lot up against other good legendaries, right? Because it you know, just really depends on what fel spells you get. So 8 mana is a lot to pay. I think, man, I don't know. I feel like it's not that good. Like a 2.5. 8 mana. You'd have to have a lot of spells. I'll go with a 2. Like those fel spells that we just saw, those aren't enough to like justify it being high rated. Okay, Demon Hunter's done. We finished Demon Hunter. 1 down, just a few to go. Skipping the quest. Everyone drink some water. Okay. Okay. Sow the Soil. 1 mana. Choose 1. Give your minions +1 attack or summon a 2/2 tree ant. You know what I need to do, chat? It's really important. If you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna be like, what the hell is he talking about? I need to refresh my browser. Because we enabled the Pepe Star, but I had to refresh my browser since then. And I see people just spamming Pepe Star, but it's typed out and I can't see the emote, and it's actually driving me insane. So I need to fix it. Okay. Okay, I'm better now. I'm better now. This card is nuts, right? This card is just nuts. Druid does buffs, like board ride buffs really well. There's going to be cards that support it. There's already good cards with it. Worst case, it's a 1 mana 2/2, which is good. Like, it's just nuts. I'm gonna say 4.5. I think it's a 4.5. Not quite 5 level. Like 5 is gonna be really busted, but it's very, very good. Vibrant Squirrel, dude. This is one of my favorite cards from the expansion. It just has a fun feel. Look at how happy that squirrel is. Does anyone else wish you could be as happy as that squirrel just because you found a giant nut? Like how does a squirrel do happiness so well? All right, Vibrant Squirrel. 1 mana, 2/1 beast tag. Death Rattle, shuffle 4 acorns into your deck. When drawn, summon a 2/1 squirrel. I like it. I think it's quite good, right? Because you just think about how annoying it is to play against Druid right now because of Arbor Up. So anytime a 2/1 pops up on the board, it's just like, it's scary. And with 4 acorns and it coming down on turn 1 a lot of the time, like people are going to draw them. Click on Satisfied Squirrel. It's a Peepo Fat Squirrel. Wait, so that's what comes out? Oh, that's great. Oh, it's so good. God, I love this card. We're gonna have to make this one golden, even though it's a neutral. Guys, is this a 5? I feel like this card, it's worse later on, so it's probably not a 5, right? Like a 4? 4.5? Because like on turn 1, it's absolutely insane, right? But if I look at like Acorn Bearer, which might be a 4, it's in like the 4.5 to 5 range. I'm like that card. If you draw it later on, at least you can like play the 1/1s immediately. So yeah, on turn 1, it's so insane. You know what, chat? I'm gonna give it a 5 because I really like the card art too. The card art is great. It does what Druid wants to do. It makes us feel warm and fuzzy inside. 5. Okay, that was kind of dramatic, but sorry about that. Composting. 2 mana. Nature spell. Give your minions Death Rattle, draw a card. Huh. So just as a side note, this must be insane and constructed, right? Like if you build a token druid deck, this has to be like insane. In Arena though, it's a little bit harder to use. It won't be that hard to draw 2 though, right? Like I think this card you want to play on like turn 6 to turn 8 type thing. Meh, indeed. I mean, I don't think it's bad. You know, like you play the squirrel on 1, and then you draw a couple of those 2/1s, and then boom, baby. Gonna be nerfed within 2 weeks, too strong and constructed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. Is it a below average card? I'm just trying to think about the other ways that druids draw, right? Draw is pretty important because druids losing the 5-drop, the 5 mana 5/4 stealth that you draw 2 when it rushes, so that's kind of a big deal. I think it's okay. Three? 3.5? You know, if I'm ever unsure, we go with the Dread's patented 3.5, baby. If you don't know, hit him with a 3.5er. All right, composting gets 3.5. Wicker Claw, 2 mana 1/4 beast tag. After your hero gains attack, this minion gains +2 attack. So you play it on turn 2. Like obviously it's best with something like Pounce, but I don't know. I don't think on average this is going to be very good. Because like you know in Arena you're generally playing like 2-drop into 3-drop, and it's like, is the attack permanent? I'm assuming it is permanent, but I still don't think it's very good. I think it requires a specific type of deck to set up. Hero powering behind it just, you know, makes it kind of eh. Like sure, so you could like coin it out and then hero power on 2. That's not terrible. You get a 3/4, and still, I mean it's good in that case, but that's like the best case scenario, right? This is on 2, coin the 4/4 rush on 3. Wait, which 4/4 rush on 3? Need support cards for this how to suck? Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think it's below average. I'm going quite a bit below average. I'm going with a 2. 2. AKA poo. This card will be good. You really think so? One thing I will say, chat, is this is one of those cards where if you're like, okay, if you're not playing it on 2, let's say you play it on like turn 4 with the hero power, it's not terrible, right? Because like you play this, kill something, and then you develop a 3/4. It's not terrible. I'm sticking with my 2 though. No takebacks. But it might be a little bit better than that. Oracle of Elune. 3 mana, 2/4. After you play a minion that costs 2 or less, summon a copy of it. Trying to think about this card. Like in Druid's one of the classes where I think it's pretty good, right? Seems bust for aggro. I mean, it's like we talk about, like with a squirrel card, or you know, on turn 3 it's not very good. It's a 3 mana 2/4, but it definitely has pop off potential. So I don't hate it. Like if it was a 3/4, then it would be like a 5, right? But it definitely, like, it definitely can be pretty insane. Especially in Arena, where you naturally draft quite a few, like, low drops, right? Especially in Druid. I think it's above average. I'm thinking between a 3.5 and a 4. I think it's like a 4. I'm gonna go with a 4. Because, I mean, I see it more as like a 5 drop, right? So, like, on turn 5, you play it and a 2. And that's a decent amount of stats. A 2, 4, and then two drops. Or turn 4, right? You play this and a squirrel. So, I think it's pretty good. All right. Kodo Mount. Give a minion +4/2 and rush. When it dies, summon a Kodo. And I think for all of them, the Kodo is a 4/2 rush, right? Yeah. 4 mana, give a minion +4/2 and rush, and then when it dies, get another rush. It's good, right? I think all of these mount cards are quite good. This isn't the strongest of them, but it's still pretty good. I feel like a lot of the time you'll be playing this on a minion on your board because it is 4 mana. So the rush on the first half, I feel like might not matter all that much, but the rush on the second half is definitely a pretty big deal. It's still going to be good. I think it's still going to be like, what, 4.5? These buffs in Druid always end up being pretty good. It's between a 4 and a 4.5. I'll go on the higher side on this one. Park Panther. 4 mana, 4/4 beast. Rush. 4/4 beast. Whenever this attacks, give your hero +3 attack this turn. Oh, okay, so this is what the card that Red Bureau is talking about. So the fact is, like, you have the 2 drop and then you play this, and then you get like the, you know, the buff effect, right, without having to hero power, right? And in that case, it will be insane. Like if you that other card, the 2 drop, if you're able to play that and then coin out this thing, sure, it'll be really insane. I mean, this card just is good. This card's really good. Yeah. So the card it reminds me the most of is Savage Combatant. Someone in chat mentioned that, and I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense. But Savage Combatant was a 5/4, but didn't have rush, and it gave your hero +2 attack, and you had to hero power with it to make the effect work. So that was like a 6 mana for a similar effect to this, and it didn't have rush. And that card was really, really good. I mean, that card could snowball because you could keep hero powering with it, but yeah, this card's very, very good. Is it a 5? I feel like this might actually be a 5. Should we go for any 5ers? I love giving cards a 5. Something about it just does it for me. Just does it for me. And by the way, chat, if I miss your hello or anything, it's just because I have to focus on the card review, okay? I love you all. Hello to everyone in chat. You guys are the best. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. All right, next card. Beast. Wait, I misspoke about the card. Best in Shell. Best in Shell. That's kind of funny, guys. I think it's a play on Best in Show. You know what they do with like the dog shows. They say Best in Show, but this, because they're turtles, it's Best in Shell. Crap, sorry, I did the thing where I talk about the card before I say what the card is. I shouldn't do that. 6 mana, tradable, summon 2/2/7 turtles with taunt. How good are 2/7s? Like 2/6s at this day and age are kind of Like it used to be a 4 mana 2/6 was bad, but not terrible. Now it's pretty bad. But 6 mana and the fact that it's tradable, I think it's pretty good. Because it's also just a lot of health, which should be good for buffs, right? I think it's pretty good. Like a 4? This feels like 3.5 to 4 to me. Like the fact that it's tradable means that it's not going to clog up your early hand too, right? I think I like it. I'll go for a 4 here. Sheldross Moontree. 8 mana 5/5. Battlecry. The next 3 spells you draw are cast when drawn. Unplayable, right? Like it's a constructed card. This is a from 1 to 5. This is an yeah, I mean, it's just you can't in arena you can't take a chance on that, right? You just can't. It's got to be a 1. But Dreads, but I lost to this card and it was so insane, and oh my god, I can't believe you gave it a 1. 1. It's a 1. Devouring Swarm. Wait, we're on to Hunter? Wait a second. Why wasn't there a break? Why wasn't there a pause? Oh, because it just goes straight to the next one. Okay. On to Hunter. Chat, we're done with Druid. Take a sip of water. Take a sip of coffee. Here we go. Devouring Swarm. 0 mana. Choose an enemy minion. Your minions attack it, then return any that die to your hand. Wow, that's an interesting card. That's a very interesting card. It's a hard one to evaluate. Like, if your minions die, it's pretty good, right? Because you get... It's 0 mana draw. I think it's really good, right? Like, obviously, Hunter likes going face a lot, but... Oh, yeah, you can actually even attack with your minion's face and then use it to trade off and kill. To like, kill something, right? And then you get the minions back. Wait, I think this card's really good. Like a 4, maybe? Match it with Death Rattles? Yeah. Acts as Rush, too. Yeah, wait, this thing's busted. Might be better than a 4. Are the Swarm Stonks just rising to the moon? I'm gonna make it a 4.5. I like it. We like, maybe the rat card is good with it. Do you guys? We haven't talked about the card yet, but there's a rat like spread card where if you don't have board space, they go into your hand. Do you know if they keep the buff in that case? This obviously probably won't happen that much in arena, but like, I think there'll be 1 mana 5/5s, 1 mana 4/4s. Like if you play those, do they keep the buff like after they trade off from Swarm? Probably not, but I'm just thinking. This card's cool. Very strong. Not doing quests. It's an arena review. Leather Working Kit. 2 mana 0/3. After 3 friendly beasts die, draw a beast and give it +1/1. Lose 1 durability. What? After 3 friendly beasts, 3 die, draw a beast and give it +1/1. I mean, so if you have a lot of beasts, it could be draw 3 and give them +1/+1, but it's kind of hard to justify. You pay 2 mana in an arena, like you just need too many beast tokens. Like what are you gonna do? Pass your turn 2 effectively? I'll give it a 1.5, but yeah, it's just too slow, I think, in arena. Like that type of game just, and it also takes your weapon slot, right? Like we were going through the cards that are coming back, and you don't want to lose out on those weapons. Yeah. Aim shot. 3 mana, deal 3 damage. Your next hero power deals 2 more damage. Did anyone else get really excited seeing this card? Like, if you like Hunter, and I'm not the biggest Hunter fan in general, but like, I love this card. It reminds me a lot of Kill Command, right? It's effectively Kill Command, but you don't need a beast. Because it modifies your hero power. So like Kill Command did 5, right? And this basically makes your hero power do 2 more, so 3 + 2 is 5. So it's basically Kill Command for going face. And in arena, it's better than Kill Command, I would say, because you don't have to have a beast, right? And sometimes that is a restriction. So it seems very good. Like you don't want to, if you use it on a minion, it's kind of weak though. That is one thing, like Kill Command on a minion is way better. I still like it, I'm just thinking about what kind of a rating. Like a 4? I don't know if it's like I don't think it's like a 5. I mean, you guys are probably mostly memeing because you love the smork. I feel like it's like a 4. Because it on curve, 3 mana deal 3 to the board feels kind of meh. I'm gonna go with a 4. But constructed, it's probably nutty, right? Because you build like a face hunter deck with it. Sorry, chat. I need to take a deep breath before this one. Mount. 3 mana, give a minion +2/+2 and immune while attacking. When it dies, summon a ram. The ram is a 2/2. Wait a second. Wait. The ram is also immune while attacking? What? Why would you do that? The card's already insane. I didn't even know that part of it. Holy shit, this may be, I mean, this is definitely one of the stupidest cards ever printed, at least from an arena perspective. This card is so fucking dumb. Like, because, okay, the thing is, like, in constructed, it's probably going to be good, but a little bit, like, whatever, right? Like, you know, people generally have answers for cards. Like, they don't just trade with minions into things, but if you play this, you coin out a 3 and then play it on it and get a free kill, and now you've got, like, a 5/6 3-drop, and then your opponent doesn't have removal, you just kill their shit for free. Over and over and over and over again. I mean, let me just get this out of the way. It's a 5. Like, this is the easiest slam dunk 5 ever, just so people know. Like, I don't know. I just hate this card because it's just gonna decide so many games on turn 3, and I don't know. It's just like, it's just so unhealthy for the game. Like, I don't even know if it should be in arena. If it's such an important card for constructed, anyhow, it's Omega busted. You take it every time. 4.5. Someone said in chat, no, this is the easiest 5 in the history of 5s, and it's going to be extremely problematic. I hate it. I hate it. All right. Stormwind Piper. 3 mana, 1/6. After this minion attacks, give your beast +1/+1. What? So this is on your board, right? Like beasts on your board. It's not good. It's definitely not good. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. It's probably like a 1.5, right? There is a little bit of upside, but yeah. And then someone in chat just mentioned, like, you definitely want to clear more minions. Yeah, I think with just going back to these cards, I do think these mount cards make it so that trading is more important in this meta, or in this upcoming meta than the previous one, because like leaving something up for this or the priest one or whatever is very punishing. So yeah, I think so. Rodent Nest, 4 mana, 2/2, death rattle, summon 5 1/1 rats. Oh man, this card is going to be annoying, right? 5 is so many. I do think silence is going to be really good in this meta. We do get some silence, thankfully, from some of the neutrals and such, but it's pretty good, right? I'm trying to think about a score, like a 4, 4.5. Yeah, so like if you compare it to a Rat Pack, right? Rat Pack was a 3 mana 2/2, spawn rats equal to the attack. But you know, it was a long time ago, so it's logical that it's better than Rat Pack, right? The damage up front is kind of weak, but I don't think it matters that much. I'm gonna give it a, I think I'm gonna give it a 4. 4 seems fair. Like, it is a little bit slow in that a 2/2 doesn't kill much, right? So on turn 4, it's not gonna have much trading power. The next turn, it will have a lot, obviously. I'm trying to think about how much 1 mana AoE. So Scorcher is back, right? Do we get Scorcher does make this a little bit worse. Priest gets another 1 mana AoE. I know mages have a decent amount of AoE. No, Potion of Madness is not in the meta. There won't be that many answers, I think, for it. Oh yeah, Paladin actually gets an AoE too. We haven't talked about that yet, but Paladin also gets one. Whirling Combatant. Yeah, so there actually are quite a few answers, I'd say, in the meta to this. Do I still want to keep it a 4? I mean, they have to have it though, right? And it gets that card out of their hand. I think a 4 is still okay. But yeah, there actually are a decent amount of answers for it. You guys want to make it 3.5? All right, chat. Don't say I never did anything for you. We're dropping it down to a 3.5 because chat said so. And my chat is the most intelligent chat in all of the lands. I love you guys. Okay, moving on. Imported Tarantula. 5 mana, 4/5. Tradable. Death rattle, summon 2 1/1 spiders with poisonous and rush. Why? Yo, why? I have so many questions about this card. First off, it is insane. Secondly, why does it need tradable? Like, a lot of the tradable cards, like, they're good, but they aren't, like, insane. Like, you're never going to trade this thing away. Like, when are you not going to want this thing? Anyhow, it's really, really nutty. It's one of those cards where... the problem with this card is if you can't kill it off on your turn and start to deal with them, if they get to, like, dictate the trades with it, it's so bad for you. Because like, it would still be good if the spiders didn't have rush, in my opinion. But the fact that the spiders have rush is just insane. Tradable for Guardian Animal spell? Sure, fair enough. I mean, the answer is always constructed, right? For, like, why something is what it is, but... Yeah. This card is just busted. I think this one's a 5, too. Yep. Better. I would say it's better than Teacher's Pet in most cases, right? And Teacher's Pet's premium. Teacher's Pet does have taunt. This doesn't have taunt, but still. The Rat King, 5 mana, 5/5, legendary minion. With the beast tag. Rush, Death Rattle, go dormant. Revive after 5 friendly minions die. I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. Because obviously we saw the... we can go back over here. Like, we saw this card, so you can trigger it pretty quickly with that, for example. That's obviously like a perfect scenario, but a 5/5 rush is still fine, and I'm assuming that in most games you'll at least summon it once, right? And a 5/5 rush and then a delayed 5/5 is pretty good. Pretty good. So I feel like it's like a 4. It's like 4 to 4.5 in my book. It's a good card. Speaking of rats of extraordinary size. Oh wow, it's such a long name. It like cuts off here on my clip thing. Rats of extraordinary size, 6 mana. Summon 7 1/1 rats. Any that can't fit on the battlefield go to your hand with +4/4. And yeah, so you can see the rat here. Okay, so we're talking about whether it was a board buff or what. I'm guessing. Oh no, that's on the board, so we don't know what it will look like in your hand. But I'm guessing it will be like a buff. So if you resummon them with effects, it still would be a 1/1 that comes back. Anyhow, aside, it's a really good card, right? So it fills your board if you have nothing on your board. Like, the best time to use it is you do have minions on your board. Like, you have, like basically the more minions you have on your board, the better this gets. Like, in the ideal scenario, it's like you have 3 or 4 minions on your board already, tokens or whatever. You play this on like turn 8, and then you can trade off and then play the 1 mana 5/5s as well, right? So it's it's a little situational, but I still think it's very, very good. What do I think for a score? 4.5, somewhere in that range again. Dude, 1 mana 5/5s are just busted though. I think I'm gonna go with a 4.5. 4.5. And I saw someone asked about the previous card. Will it have? Yeah, it has rush when it comes back. All rush minions, if they like res or whatever, yeah, they have rush. Yep, immediately. Okay, we're done with Hunter. Cheers to the Smorkers. And now we move on to Mage. One of my favorite classes, as you all know. Ah, Mage is so fun. Mage and Priest and Rogue. Rogue Mage Priest is great comp in WoW too. Okay. We're not exactly starting off with a banger, though. Hot Streak. 0 mana, your next fire spell this turn costs 2 less. One. But Dreads, what if you play this on turn 5 and then you Flame Strike their Born? Yeah, then what, Dreads? Yeah, that's great and all, but that's probably Omega Overkill and you have to do 2 cards for it, so it's bad. It's terrible. First Flame. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, add a second flame to your hand. Does the second flame do the same effect? Deal 2 damage to a minion. Wow. Wait, this is busted. This is really good. Right? It's good. It can't go face. It's not like 5, but it's very good. It doesn't generate a bunch of value, but it should be very good at, like, one of the things that I've always noticed with Mage, when Mage struggles, they don't have like this cheap removal. And this is really good removal. Like, you play it on, let's say you play it on like turn 3, kill your opponent's 3-2, play your own 3-2, and then you have another flame for later to use another good spot, or it will be good tempo again. I really like this card. 4.5. I'm okay with dude, I think I feel like it's like a 4.5. Is that too high? Similar to Throwglaive? Yeah, okay, maybe it's a 4. All right, we'll go with 4. We'll go with 4. Like, Ruined Orb is still better than it, right? Or something like that. But it's on the level of, like, Brain Freeze, which I would say Brain Freeze is in that level of, like, 4 to 4.5. I think 4 is fair. If it went face, it would definitely be a 5. Yep. Skip the quest. Celestial Inkset. 2 mana. After you spend 5 mana on spells, reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 5. My head hurts. I'm sorry. Hearthstone, I can't handle that much reading. Okay? There's too many lines there. I'm old. Chat has beaten me down over the years with all their Keck W's. That's too much text for me. I mean, it's not good in Arena, right? Like, it's a weapon, and you have to play 5. You have to spend 5 mana on spells. Reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 5. So you really have to, and it's random, right? It's not like you get to pick which one. Like it just would if you have a few spells, it just picks one. Correct, chat? But Dread's the 4/3 power that buffs your weapon as a card. True. It could be a 1/3 weapon. Wow. This could work. I don't think it's gonna work very often. Like, it obviously has cheese potential, but I'm gonna say a 1.5. I think it's bad. It's between a 1.5 and a 2 for me. Like, how often will you have it? Like, it's only really good if you have a Flame Strike or some very expensive card. Oh, you know what's gonna happen though? We're getting Puzzle Box back. One of you turds is gonna play this, play 5 mana, and then play a Puzzle Box on turn 5 against me. Please don't do that. Wait, why did this cut off? 1.5. Please don't do that. Okay. Ignite. 2 mana, deal 2 damage. Shuffle and ignite into your deck that deals 1 more damage. So this can go face. And so is this infinite, chat, for like constructed? So like if you're out of cards, it would shuffle in a 3 and then in a 4, then in a 5, etc., etc. I'm guessing that's how it works. I don't know if it's that good. 2 damage for 2 mana isn't that great, and I don't know if you have draw in Arena to like reliably get it to a point where it's really good. Like 2 mana to deal 3 is still like, yeah, it's okay, right? 2 mana to deal 4, it's okay, but it's also taking up a spot in your deck from another draw, and I'm not sure if it's really worth it. I think it's bad. I think it's like a 2. You know, it's not like unpickable bad, but pretty weak. Yeah, worse Torch. Yeah, kind of. It does remind me of Forgotten Torch a little bit. Forgotten Torch was what? 3 mana, deal 3, and then if you drew it, it was 3 mana, deal 6. Is that correct? Something like that. Okay. Prester's Pyromancer. 2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry. Your next fire spell has spell damage +2. Whoa. Wait, were these all fire spells? That one is. The big one I want to look at was this one. Wow. Okay. So this is good, right? This is good. And yeah, oh wait, you're right. It's not a this turn effect. In my head, I actually read it as a, you know, your next spell this turn. But it's, you can like bank that effect. Yeah, it's really, really good, right? Two drops haven't been power crept that much in terms of stats, so a 2-mana 2/3 is fine. And yeah, I mean sometimes it will never do anything, but it's still very good, very, very good. Feels like a 4 maybe, some around that range. Whoops, I'll go with a 4. Fire sale. Get it before it's gone. Get your dread stock. Get you ice cream. Dread, stop being weird. I don't know how to stop being weird. 4 mana, tradable, deal 3 damage to all minions. Deal 3 to the board. So if you compare it to Volcanic Potion, right? The Volcanic Potion was a great arena card. 3 mana, deal 2 to the board. This, for 1 more mana, deals 1 more damage to the board and is tradable. It's really good. It's really, really good. Doesn't go face, but yeah, it's very, very good. The annoying thing about this card is like it's gonna make it hard to play around AoE, because oftentimes with Mage it was like they can deal 1 or 2 damage, but in the mid turns it's kind of hard to deal deal 3. And now having a 3 damage AoE in the middle turns is going to be kind of rough. Yeah, it's also a fire spell. Yep. So it'd be modified by that other one. 4.5. Trying to think about how good it is. Like if it was one-sided, it would be like a 5, right? I don't know if it's quite a 4.5. 4.5 since tradable. Okay, sure, fine. We can do 4.5. The tradable is pretty crazy, right? Because the thing about a card like this is it is bad. It is bad in the case where you have the board. But the fact that you can get rid of it in those spots is kind of nuts. So, yeah, it might actually be like on the 5 range. 4.5 to 5. Sanctum Chandler, 5 mana, 4/5 elemental tag. After you cast a fire spell, draw a spell. Yeah, these cards are hard to evaluate for arena because it depends on how many fire spells you get. Like we saw that 1 mana spell that gives you 2. Well, it's 1 mana and then gives you another 1 mana fire spell, but. So with that cards, it's like nuts, right? Was the 4 mana deal 3 AoE comment? It was, yeah. But a 5 mana 4/5 is pretty eh. So I don't know. It's just hard to evaluate. Depends on how often you get them. I don't think it's going to be great, because like those fire spells, you're oftentimes going to want to play them in the early game, because that's when they're going to be the most impactful. So saving them for like a pop-off turn seems a little bit unlikely. Looks like a fried chicken element. It does actually look like that. Okay, I think average. I think 3 is a good kind of hedge. It might be a little bit below average, honestly. Like it might be more in like the 2.5 range. Honestly, if a 3 mana 3/4 is a 3, I actually think it's worse. Let's go 2.5. I think it's going to be too hard to pull off. And, yeah, 5 mana 4/5 is just pretty bad now. All right. Clumsy Courier. 7 mana 4/5. Battlecry, cast the highest cost spell from your hand. Oh no, people are gonna use this with box, right? Dude. Okay. For my sanity, can we please not have the epic offering rate through the roof? Okay? Because, like, yeah, we tried it a little bit with the Druid thing. It was fun for a while. I love messing with rarities. I think they should do it more often. It's great. Like, mess with those things. Keeps things fresh. But please, I do not want this card being more common and box being more common. And a lot of the other epics just seem nutty. So can we please, like, tone down the epics just a little bit? Thank you. On average, it's bad, by the way. For anyone wondering, it's pretty damn terrible. It's like a 1.5 or 2. Because I think it's like a 1.5. Because the thing is, like, Flame Strike would be good with it. Box could be good, but you know, some of the big spells are like they could hit you or something, right? So it's on average bad, but yeah, please, I don't want to get boxed on turn 7. Grand Magus Antonidas, 8 mana, 6/6. Battle Cry: if you've cast a fire spell on each of your last 3 turns, cast 3 fireballs at random enemies. Yeah, I mean, in Arena, that's going to be really hard to do, right? Like, it's a constructed card where you clear their board and then, you know, pew, 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 pew. In Arena, I think it's like never going to do anything. It's got to be a 1, right? Yeah. Okay. On to Paladin. Paladonger time. Feeling fine. Someone pass the lime for these rhymes. We start off with Blessed Goods. 1 mana, holy spell. Discover a secret weapon or divine shield minion. This card is insane. Like, really insane. Because, like, so the thing about this card is a lot of cards that have similar effects to this. I think about, like, the what is the name of the hunter card? The pack one? Can't remember it now. The 3/3. Like, you have to pay 3 mana for the card, and then, like, you know, get a luck. Or like War Cash or whatever. Yeah, Pack Kodo. Pack Kodo is the card I'm thinking of. Or War Cash. That one's not Discover, but, you know, it's like 3 mana for the effect. This one, having it only be 1 mana is huge, because, you know, like, it doesn't restrict when you can play it as much. And I think most of the time, you're going to be taking a weapon from this, right? Like, give me a silver sword, or you only have 1 chance of the weapon. So how many bad weapons are there? Like, I know we get the claw back, the 1 mana claw, which is kind of eh. What are the other ones? Silver sword is a thing. What are the other paladin weapons right now? Is the 6 cost weapon a thing? Which summons a 6/6 taunt, and then you get 3 charges of it? It says weapon? Yeah, but, like, that's how Discover works. Discover is Paladin. Like, it comes from your class. So you could get neutral weapons, but it's got to be Paladin or neutral. Yeah, Hammer of the Naru is the one I'm thinking of. I think that's still in. I don't remember it leaving, right, when we did our review the other day? Or earlier today? Coghammer's gone, no. Oh, the Secret Sword's still in? Yeah, it's true. You only get 1 chance at the weapon. You almost never want to take the secret. Divine Shield minion should be pretty good on average. Okay, so what is the I still think this card's great. 4.5. I'll go with a 4. Four seems fair. All right, moving on. Prismatic Jewel Kit. 1 mana, 0/3 weapon. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, give minions in your hand +1/1, lose 1 durability. mean, how many Divine Shield minions are there right now? I can't imagine this is that great. Like, I'm sure there are a decent number, but it's like... Ensaver Constructed. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the whole point of this card. It's a hand buff constructed card, right? I feel like this is going to be very difficult to make use of. 1.5? 2? Probably 1.5. There's not a single good new weapon that said, but we get Silver Sword back. So, that is a thing. That is definitely a thing. Skipping the quest. City Tax. 2 mana. Tradable. Lifesteal. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Man. This card's very good. Very, very, very good. I don't know why it has lifesteal. I feel like it doesn't even need lifesteal to be great. So, yeah, it's very, very good. 4.5, somewhere in that range. So I should say, like, Paladin's always had Consecrate, right? But outside of that, very rarely do Paladins get more AoE. I think there's a reason for that, because it's just... Paladins should have to get on the board, and if they fall off, it should be hard to get back on the board. So, just seems like a great card. And if it's not good at the time, it only costs 1 mana to shuffle it back in, right? 4? It's like a 4 to a 4.5. Arcane Explosion that's tradable. Lifesteal is probably rarely relevant. I think 4 is fair. Seems fine. All right. Noble Mount. 2 mana. Give a minion +1/1 and Divine Shield. When it dies, summon a Warhorse. This is my first time seeing this card. Wait, what is a Warhorse? I know what Divine... What the hell is a Warhorse? Hello? What is it? Oh, it's a 1/1 with Divine Shield. Why isn't there a thing for me to click on here? Hearthstone? I guess we know that all these mount cards just match the stat line, right? So I guess we should know, but still, I just, I would like the little thing to click here so I can see it. Like, I didn't even get to see the cute horse, Wait, this is insane. What? Like, I'm reading the card again. +1/1 and a Divine Shield for 2 mana. And you get another 1/1 Divine Shield on the board when it dies? This thing is absolutely nuts. I think this might be a 5. Because it's all about trying to clear Paladins, right? And this is going to make it so hard to clear stuff. I'm giving it a 5, baby. I'm going for the 5. Cinco in Espanol. Alliance Bannerman. 3 mana 2/2. Battlecry, draw a minion, give minions in your hand +1/+1. We talked about this card a little bit earlier in the stream. So if you missed that, I do think it's good. I think this card is good. So you think about Arena Fanatic, which is coming back, and Arena Fanatic is terrible, and it was terrible. It still will be terrible. Arena Fanatic is a 4 mana 2/3, so it costs 1 more mana. It doesn't draw for you, and gives your hand +1/1. I'm assuming this card draws first, because if you see on the card it says draw a minion, period, give minions in your hand +1/1, period. So I'm guessing the minion would be drawn, that gets drawn is buffed. I think it's pretty good. Even in Arena, right? Obviously it's another hand buff card. Playing a 3 mana 2/2 does suck a bit, but I think The fact that this comes out on 3 rather than 4, and it gives you a draw is pretty good. I'm seeing some really high scores in chat. I don't know if it's that crazy. I guess the thing is, this card's very good if you play it on maybe like turn 6 or something, right? Turn 6 or turn 7 and you have a hand. On turn 3, playing at 2/2 does still feel pretty bad. I just know that, like, because it can be hard to get the board back after you play an understated minion, right? I think it's good. I think it's definitely above average, but I think it's like a 4 maybe, not like a 4.5 or 5. It's like a 3.5, 4 range for me. I'll go with 4. Seems, I mean, getting a card and a hand buff, it's a lot for a 3-drop, right? It does a lot. I'll go with a 4. Catacomb Guard, 3 mana, 1/4. Lifesteal, Battle Cry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack to an enemy minion. Alright, so this is definitely another hand buff card, right? Like, a 1/4 that pings for 1 isn't very good. But if you coin this out, and now you're playing a 2/5 that pings for 2 on turn 3, that's a lot better, right? But I don't know if you'll have enough hand buff in Arena to really make it work. So I think it's definitely below average. Like a 2? I think 2 is probably fair. Okay. Lightbringer's Hammer. 3 mana, 3/2. Lifesteal. Can't attack heroes. No smork? What do you mean? What is this card? 0. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 0. You're telling me I can't go face? I don't want to play. It's still fine. It's still fine. Like, it's weapons, you know, it's a fiery war axe, and it heals you a bit. It's not, you know, it's not an insane card, but it's still fine, in my opinion. The lifesteal is pretty important on the weapon. What do you guys think? How good? My first thought was like a 3.5. Like, I think it's in like the 3.5 to 4 range, but 3 mana 3/2 weapons don't feel as good these days, so I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to be a 3.5. Not being able to use it to like hit someone in the face too, to like finish the game, feels kind of bad to me. I'll go with 3.5. First Blade of Rin. 4 mana, 3/5, Divine Shield, Battle Cry, gain Rush if this has at least 4 attack. It's kind of interesting as I look at more and more of these cards. Not that one, but this one. Like, this card synergizes so well with what Paladin wants to do. Right? Like, if you're going to win an arena with Paladin, it feels like you are going to try to, like, pull off. Because, like, if you get the effect here and you play a 4/5 rush, or 4/6 rush with a Divine Shield, it's insane. This card on its own is good, I'd say. Like, I don't love 4 mana 3/5s, but with the Divine Shield, it's pretty good. So it's a good card with upside that probably will rarely trigger, right? I would say. What do we think? 3.5, 4? I still think a 3/5 Divine Shield's not terrible. I feel like it's like a 4. I think 4 is fair. Poor Taz Dingo. Poor Taz Dingo. High Lord 4 Dragon. 6 mana, 5/5. Divine Shield. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, give a minion in your hand plus 5/5. So it counts off itself, right? So you play it, and it will give you the trigger itself. That's a lot of stats, man. What is the card I'm thinking of that it kind of reminds me of? You guys know, I know someone in chat will know the one. It was a Paladin card too. Hold on, let me think if I can remember. Don Hancho? Don, right? Yeah, Don Hancho. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah. That card was pretty good, and this is much better than it. So I think it's pretty good. Because playing a 6-mana 5/5 with Divine Shield is fine, right? Like, I think it's really good. Like, at least a 4... I think this is at least a 4.5. Could be a 5. Because you really aren't losing that much to play this on turn 6 for a plus 5/5 effect. And, wait. And if someone actually has another Divine Shield, it's not a one-time trigger. So, I mean, I don't know how often that will happen, but then it's just absolutely bonkers. Because we have that stupid horse thing or whatever, the war horse thing, which gives a 1/1 Divine Shield. I'm going to go with a 5. I've talked myself up. It's a legendary, so we probably won't see it that much, so you guys won't be able to say whether I'm right or wrong, but I'm going with a 5. So I feel alive. And I got this job. Okay. Boom, we're done with Paladin. No more Donger. GG, no re. Donger is done. Chat, don't hate me, but I have to play a set of ads. Don't be upset, okay? Don't be upset. Are you upset? Be honest. Are you upset? Don't be upset. We should stretch a little bit for the people getting ads, so they don't miss anything. This is a little break. Stretch it out. And what's it all about? Stretch stream. Oh, okay. Gonna get back to the gym tomorrow. I'm upset, but I'm always upset. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, priest time. Chat, this card is absolutely broken. The name of the card is Call of the Grave. 1 mana shadow spell. Discover a Death Rattle minion. If you have enough mana to play it, trigger its Death Rattle. What is this? We do lose Proto Drake, right, chat? So turn 9, you can't play this, get the Proto Drake trigger, and get a Drake. I think Proto Drake's out. I think Dragonmoth Skystalker is also out. So I think it will be a little bit worse than it could potentially be. But it's still, I mean, it's still going to be nutty, right? Like you use it with Cairn or you know, there's just like, yeah, even the Vegan Overlord, I forget the name of the card, the one that gives plus 3/3, the 9-drop. So you play it on turn 10, you can get the effect and then also play it, for example. I mean, that's like a, you know, turn 10 play, but yeah, I know you don't have to play it, but you have to have the mana to play it, right? So you still have to play it kind of in the mid to late turns for it to be probably best. But it's insane. Like, I think this card is a pretty easy 5 for me. Because it's going to be on turn 7, 6, 7, it's going to create such nutty swings. Like, we still have the 5 mana 1/1 in the pool, right? The 5 mana 1/1 that spawns a 5/8. Like, just think turn 6. You play this, you get a 5/8 and that card, like, the game's just over, right? So, I don't know. I think this is that cheese potential, and it's cheap enough that it's going to be busted. Probably a little bit too good, in my opinion, for Arena. All right. I'm still gonna draft it though, because I have no morals when it comes to Arena. Give me them wins. Give me them dubs. Shard of the Naru. 1 mana, tradable. Silence all enemy minions. Wow. See, I love tradable on a silence card. Like, that feels good, right? You guys remember Mass Dispel? Who remembers Mass Dispel? What was it? It was a 4, was it 4 mana, silence all enemy minions and draw a card? I think that's what it was, something like that, right? And this is 1 mana tradable, silence all enemy minions. I think it's good. I think this card's actually quite good. Like, silence is something that, like, even as much as I hate on Owl, like, sometimes it's clutch. And being able to throw this back when it's not useful for 1 mana is just great. So, what do you guys think? 3.54? I'm gonna go with a 4. Like, sometimes it won't be very good, but the tradable just makes it so much better. Okay, Void Touched Attendant. 1 mana, 1/3. Both heroes take 1 extra damage from all sources. So you're telling me I'm gonna be a Shadow Priest main? Pew, pew, pew. I mean, it's clearly that's a point of it, right? Like, it's a Shadow Priest card for constructed. In Arena, I would argue that most of the time this card is bad for you. Like, I'd rather have just a generic 1/3 than this, because that's just how I tend to like to play Priest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love. Now, I don't tend to like to spend a card on a 1/3 in Priest anyways. Like, there's the 1/4 in Priest, and I still don't even take that all that often. So I don't know. I don't think this card is very good. It's not the worst stat line. I mean, we can give it a 2, because like a 1 mana 1/3 is still okay-ish, but it's like 1.5 to 2 range. Shadow Cloth Needle. 2 mana 0/3. After you cast a shadow spell, deal 1 damage to all enemies, lose 1 durability. I mean, it's again, like, AoE is good, but it's just so hard to make this work. You have to cast a spell, it has to be a shadow spell, and then the AoE has to be relevant. I'm trying to think about how many shadow spells we have. I don't know. I feel like it's just not going to work that well. I don't think it's going to be reliable. We can go with the 2 again. Don't have to change it. It does have some upside, but I think it's going to be hard to make work. In construction, I'm sure it'll be good. If Shadow Priest is actually a thing. Okay, Twilight Deceptor. I initially just read that as Decepticon. 2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry. If any hero took damage this turn, draw a shadow spell. Hey, this is great. Right? So if any hero took damage this turn, so it doesn't count if you like took damage on their turn and then played it, right? So it has to be either you use a minion to attack their face, or you have a self-damage thing, right? But it's still like, it's targeted draw, it's cheap, and it has fine stats if you just have to tempo it out. It's really good. Really, really good. At least a 4, I would say. Yeah, sure, like Raise Dead type thing. Although, is Raise Dead finally rotating for Marina or no? It's not a turn 2 play. It's not a turn 2 play, but like you can just play it on 2 as a 2/3 if you have to, which makes it good, really good. I'm gonna go with a 4. You know, again, you have to have shadow spells. It's like a 4 to 4.5 in my opinion. All right, Psyfiend. 3 mana, 3/4. After you cast a shadow spell, deal 2 damage to each hero. I mean, it's okay, right? It's just a 3 mana 3/4. Do you guys think Shadow Priest will actually be a thing in Arena? Like, what, do you think you'll be able to make it work? Probably not, right? But it's still a 3 mana 3/4. I'm just gonna give it the rating of a 3 mana 3/4, which is a 3. Fine. Void Shard. 4 mana, lifesteal, deal 4 damage. It's not very good, right? Like, Penance is what, 2 mana? Like, this is for a quest, right? I think it's for, like, the quest. That's why it's that mana cost and stuff. Feels a little underwhelming to me. Yeah, I can go face. Yeah, I can go face. That's true. I don't know. Feels a little underwhelming. 2.5. I'm okay with the 2.5. All right. Dark Bishop Benedictus. Start of game. So it's a 5 mana 5/6 legendary. Start a game. If the spells in your deck are all shadow, enter shadow form. What? It's a constructed card, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's a 5 mana 5/6, so that's fine, right? Yeah, it's like a 3. 3 is fair. It works if you don't have spells too. That's true, but I don't want to be in shadow form. 3 is fine. Oh, there's a diamond version of this? How do you get the diamond version of this? What do you have to do? I think it's the collect all legendaries. Okay. All right, guys, another mount card. 7 mana Elec Mount. Give a minion +4/7 and taunt. When it dies, summon an Elec. And like with all the cards, Elec has the same stats. This is gonna be fun, isn't it? Oh boy. Good luck trying to kill a priest with this, and then they get another taunt. It's pretty insane. Like +4/7 is a lot of stats. I'm going with another 5, man. I think the mounts are really like the standout cards for the expansion for Arena. It's not as good as the Hunter one. The Hunter one is like a 6 if that was a thing, but I still feel like this card's a 5. Like, it's just going to be so hard to get through all of that. And, you know, just keep them off the board, but that's not all that easy. Okay. Done with Priest. On to Rogue. Skipping the quest. Yeah, so that is a good point. Before we get into Rogue, the silence cards are just going to be really important, huh? Like a way to deal with the mounts. I think, and now that like devolving is gone, people are gonna have less ways. The silence cards are probably gonna be very, very good in this meta. Okay, SI7 Extortion. 1 mana tradable, deal 3 damage to an undamaged character. I love that they keep the flavor of it so that it can go face. You know, it's the same thing with Shadow Strike. You guys remember? You could Shadow Strike face if you wanted to. It was never the right play, but you can do it. Yeah, so most of the time you're gonna want to use it on a minion, right? It's good. It's tradable, so like if you draw it late in the, like this card's great early, right? Early on in the game, it's insane. Like that's when you want to have it. If you draw it later, you can just trade it out. This card's great. 4.5. How good is 1 mana deal 3? It's really good. I'll go with a 4. I'll go with a 4. Backstab, like, is this better than Backstab? Yes, because it's tradable, but Cost 1 mana versus 0, so it's maybe a slight upgrade. I think 4 is fair. Garrote. I love the flavor, like the WoW WoW abilities. I remember this from my, whoops, what the hell was that? From my time playing WoW. Garrote. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Shuffle 3 bleeds into your deck that deal 2 more when drawn. Rogue gets a lot of SI cards. Yeah. We'll talk about when we get to them. About like the synergy within stuff. It's bad, right? Like it's cool card, and maybe in constructed it can be a thing, but if you draw all of the bleeds, it does 8 damage. And I mean that is a lot, but it's hard to draw enough. I think it's pretty bad. Curse of Rafam. Yeah, I remember that card. 1.52. I think it's really bad. I think it's a 1.5, guys. I think it's a 1.5. Maybe even a 1, huh? We'll go 1.5. Doesn't help you win the board, which is way more relevant than the face damage, right? And if you play like later on, the chances of drawing enough to make it useful is low. So the card just doesn't make sense for Arena. Maestra of the Masquerade. 2 mana, 3/2 rogue legendary. You start the game as a different class until you play a rogue card. Oh man. It's just great, right? Like, I don't know, I like cards like this because it's just so funny. It's like so random, and you know, it's just troll. It's not like, let's put it this way. It's, you know, in Arena you pick against other legendaries. This will rarely be the pick, but yeah, it's a fun card. So it's basically whatever a 2 mana 3/2 is, which is probably like a 2.5 3. I'll give it a 3 because I like it. I can do that. I'm gonna bump it up to a solid 3 because I like it. It makes me happy. Yep, I can do that. Lone Shark. 3 mana, 3/4. Battlecry, give your opponent a coin. Death Rattle, you get 2. So this is a very interesting card. Obviously, the idea behind this card is Death Rattle Rogue, right? And you know, you trigger the Death Rattle, but you don't give them the Battle Cry. So in Arena, the question is, how bad is it to give your opponent 1 coin and then you get 2 later? Man, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think if that's a positive, right? Like, I don't think it's a huge negative, so I think it would at least be a 3, like on the level of a 3/4. 2 coins is quite a bit, though. You give your, man, the problem is you give your opponent a coin, so they probably play something that overstats it immediately, right? Then they kill it. Silence would be really punishing. If you get it from a summoned suite, yeah. I mean, there's ideal scenarios where it's good, but I feel like most of the time giving your opponent a coin before you get like 2 isn't going to be very good. I'm just going to give it a very generic 3. That's how I feel about it. Like, it may be slightly worse than a 3 mana 3/4, but it's not so much worse. I think you wouldn't pick it because getting the 2 coins back, I mean, you should be able to get a pretty good swing back the other way, and eventually it will die. So, you know, sure, sometimes it will get silenced and it will just be brutal, and maybe for that reason it's worse. Like, you could say that the times where it gets silenced and then they get a coin and you get nothing is just painful. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna drop it down. I think there's enough silence that's coming back that I think this is worse than a 3/4. Yeah, let's go with 2.5. Okay. I love the art though. Can we like, dude? How good is the art and the feel of it? Chilling in the Stormwind River. It's a cool card. I don't think it's great for Arena. Okay, SI7 Operative. 3 mana, 2/4 rush. After this attacks a minion, gains stealth. 2/4 rush is kind of underwhelming. Like the fact that it gets stealth does matter a lot, but I don't know. That stat line doesn't feel great to me anymore. Like there's 3/3 rushes with tradable. Sure, they don't get stealth after, but nice. It's a 3/2. I mean, the fact that it gets stealth means they can't just ping it off, right? Is it better than an average card? Maybe. 3.5. I don't think it's a 4. I think it's between like a 2.5 and a 3.5. I don't know. I don't think it's that great. I'm gonna go with a 3. I just remember, Chad, so when we've had 2/4 rushes before, it almost never felt good to play it as a 2/4. Like, it is removal, but I'm gonna go with a 3. Being an SI matters. I mean, I guess we'll see what the other SI synergy cards are, but I don't think it's that great. I'm gonna stick with a 3. Sketchy Information. 3 mana, draw a death rattle card 4 or less. Trigger its death rattle. It's just too hard to work in Arena, right? Like you do this and you pull the 4-cost Berserker, and then you take 5. Woohoo! Yeah. So Socket Sapper is a card that's coming back. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's a 4/4, and the death rattles return an enemy minion to their hand. And that's cool, right? Like if you pulled off that combo, it could be really great. But it's too expensive. Like okay, even if you pull like a loan shark off of it, right? You draw it, you get coins, but then it's so expensive. So I don't know. I think this card's pretty bad. I'm gonna go with a 1.5. Oops. I just don't think it's worth it. Trigger its death rattle. Because it depends a little bit, right? Like if you had if you have a lot of big death rattles, then it's not that bad tempo wise, but I don't know. I feel like you're not gonna want this card very much because you're gonna have cheap death rattles and stuff. I think I go with 1.5. All right. Counterfeit Blade. 4 mana, 4/2. Okay, pretty good stats for a weapon. Battlecry, gain a random friendly death rattle that triggered this game. Wow, wait, this is good, right? Because, sure, like Berserker could die or something and that would suck, but it might just be the case in Rogue that Berserker is just not worth it anymore, because like there's too many cards that just aren't good with it. But like this card's pretty nuts. And you have to remember with weapons too, like you don't have to wait for it to trigger. Like if you want to trigger the effect in the same turn, it's a little bit clunky, but you can swing and then re-equip your dagger to trigger it immediately. So I think this card's really good. 4.5. Dreads is a Battlecry. Yeah. Battlecry, gain a random friendly minion's death rattle that triggered this game, right? So then it's the death rattle of the weapon, right? I'm guessing. Like when the weapon breaks, you get the death rattle, right? If that makes sense. Yeah, it's very good. I think it's. I'm gonna go high on this one. I'll go with the 4.5. I remember like weapon triggering death rattles were pretty good. We had that other weapon. I forget the name of it, but death rattle trigger like a death rattle minion on your board. That one was pretty nutty. This is a little bit different, but I still think it's good, even just for the face damage potentially. All right. SI7 Informant, 4 mana, 3/3. Battlecry gain +1/1 for each SI7 card you've played this game. I just don't think it's gonna work in Arena. Like, you have to play 2 for it to be good. If you play 1, a 4 mana 4/4 sucks. I don't think you're gonna play 3 before you play it. I think it's bad. I think it's pretty bad. A 4/4 is okay, but I think oftentimes it would just be a 3/3. Seems pretty weak to me. 2, 1.5, it's somewhere in that range. Like, even if you play it late in the game, it's still like, not really worth it. I think we go 1.5. Not worth. SI7 Assassin. 7 mana 4/4. Costs 1 less for each SI7 card you've played this game. Combo destroy an enemy minion. So this one is better. I'm trying to remember the name of the card, but there was a... what is the name of the card? Was it a Cthulhu card? It was a similar stat line. It was around like a 4/4, and it was Battlecry kill a minion. No, not Vile Spine. No. There was another one that was like pretty expensive. Yeah, Blade of Cthulhu. Yeah, it was a 9-cost 4/4. And even though that was a different time, and that card wasn't good, but it was still okay. Like, it was still, develop something and kill something. It wasn't the worst card. And a lot better than it, because at minimum it's a 7 mana, right? And if you play 1 or 2 assassins, it could become 5 or 5 or 6. You do have to combo it, but I think this card's pretty good. At least a 4. Let's say 8 mana, because you have to combo it. Kill a minion and develop a 4/4. It's not bad. I feel like it's a 4. Because I don't know. Like, if you get enough SI7 Assassins, like 3 or something, and you play it for 4 mana, then it's, insane. But I don't know how often you'll be able to do that. All right. On to Shaman. Skip the quest. As always, investment opportunity. 1 mana, draw an overload card. What? I don't get a reduction or anything? What do you mean? 1 mana, draw an overload card. Where's the -1 stat? What is this crap? It's not very good, right? Like, you have to spend a mana and 1.5? Needs tradable? Yeah, it needs something. It needs something. I'm gonna go with a 1.5. For the Shaman quest? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Overdraft. 1 mana, tradable. Unlock your overloaded mana crystals to deal that much damage. This is another card where, like, in Constructed it will probably be insane, but in Arena, like, I don't know. Like, it is tradable, right? But like, how much overload are you gonna have for this to be good? Like 3 or 4 overload for it to be actually, like, really good? Like, the card that stands out is I forget the name of it, but the 1 mana card that keeps killing minions, like, until it doesn't kill something. Perpetual Flame, right? Yeah, that's the name of it. Perpetual Flame. Like, you play Perpetual Flame and then you do this, and it could be, could be crazy because you also unlock them, right? But outside of that combo, I think it's going to be pretty hard to justify it. So on average, I think it's a below average card, but obviously it's got some potential, right? You don't think deal 2 plus unlock 2 mana crystals is good for 1 mana? Okay, you're right. I think if you have 2 overload, it's good. because the unlock is definitely relevant. But most of the time you're only overloaded for one, right? If that in Arena. It's a hard card to, it's definitely a hard card to evaluate. Like, it definitely is. I want to say it's like a 2. That's my gut feeling about it. It's tradable, so it's not terrible, but I don't think this is a card I'm going to really want. Because, like, the combos that you guys are talking about, you have to, in Arena, like, how often are the stars going to align for that? I'm gonna stick with a 2. But yeah, a bit of a hard card to evaluate. All right. Auction House Gavel. 2 mana, 2/2. 2 attack, 2 durability weapon. After your hero attacks, reduce the cost of a battlecry minion in your hand by 1. All right, chat. Let's do the math and calculate how many battle cries there are and how likely I am to have a battle cry minion in my hand at the time that I play this. I mean, I think it's okay because a 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 durability weapon's fine. Like, there's not that many minions or weapons that come out on turn 2, so I think it's still pretty good, regardless of the effect. And there's a pretty good chance you get at least one effect. Like, there's quite a few battlecry minions, and if you have just one, then you can reduce the cost twice. I think it's pretty good. I think it's really good. I think it's like a 4, chat. Am I crazy? I think it's pretty good. Boom, baby. 4. All right. Bolner Hammerbeak. 2 mana, 1/4. Legendary. After you play a battlecry minion, repeat the first battlecry played this turn. Did I say boner? I did not say boner. You said boner. I said Bolner. Chat, you guys get your minds out of the gutter. I said Bolner. You didn't hear it. Bolner. So you combo it and you minimum get, well, it's only one time, right? After you play a battle, oh no, it repeats the first one you played again and again and again, right? So, like, if you play multiple battle cries, you get the first battle cry multiple times, right? I still don't think it's very good. Like, you have to have a battle cry minion. The battle cry has to be relevant, and you have to pay for a 2 mana 1/4. It's Bran. Yeah, I don't know. Sure, Mist Runner would be kind of nutty. Combo cards like this rarely are worth it. And again, Legendary is up against other good cards, right? So this card's not going to be picked very often. I think it's bad. I'm going to go with a 2. And say it's poo. Charged Call. 3 mana. Discover a 1-cost minion and summon it. Upgraded for each overload card you've played this game. This card's interesting. So, like, if you've overloaded for 2, it gives you value, right? Because, like, you get a summon. Wait, discover 1 cost. Oh, you don't get it in your hand. Never mind. I was thinking that, like, you discover the minion and then you get a copy in your hand and on the board. But I think it's just discover the minion and then summon it. Like, you don't get a copy as well. It's each overloaded card and each overloaded crystal. Right. So, like, even if you played something that overloaded for 2, it's still 1 reduction, right? Probably too hard to make work. Like, when does this become really good? 4 mana? So you'd have to play 3 overload cards before playing it? I don't think it's worth it. It's just too hard to make work. I think it's probably like a 2. We're kind of on a streak of 2s. 2 seems fair. Canal Slogger. Dude, I love the name of this card. Anyone with me? It's got to be up there for one of the best names. Something about saying Slogger. Slogger. I just enjoy it. 4 mana, 6/4 elemental. With Rush, Lifesteal, and it overloads you for 1. Man, that does a lot, right? So I don't think it's quite as good as Fountain. What's the full name of the card, chat? The Wind Fury? The Wind Fury, Rush, Pew Pew, Walking Fountain. There we go. Yeah. I don't think it's quite as good as Walking Fountain, but it's still really good. Heal for minimum 6. If it free kills, potentially it could heal for more. The only thing that's a little weird about it is it will probably... Like, it's probably... The 6 attack feels almost overkill, right? And then the 4 health feels kind of only, like, a little underwhelming. I think it's good. 4? It's like between a 4 and a 4.5 for me. The 1 overload does suck a little bit. I still think this is going to be good. I'm going to go with a 4. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, I think this is a card that you want to play not on 4 in most cases. Like, the thing about it is it maintains relevance into turn 5, 6, 7, probably, right? With the 6 attack. So, yeah, I think 4 is fair. It's like, it's very good. You won't pass it very often. All right, Granite Forgeborn. 4 mana, 4/5 elemental. Battlecry, reduce the cost of elementals in your hand and deck by 1. Damn. Isn't this going to be kind of nasty and constructed? Like, isn't Elemental Shaman already kind of a thing? Like, in Arena, I mean, you know, it depends on how many elementals you have and stuff. But, wow, in Constructed, that thing's got to be annoying. I think it's really good even in Arena. Like, you get a Yeti stat line, which is still pretty okay, right? And if the reduction is relevant at all, then it's great, right? I think it's quite good. 4.5. I think I like 4, but it's good, very good. Spirit Alpha, 4 mana, 2/5. After you play a card with Overload, summon a 2/3 Spirit Wolf with Taunt. Yeah, I do love the art. I bet you it'll be really cool in Golden. I don't think it's very good. It's too understated. Yeah, I feel like it's like a 2. Like a 2. Okay, Tiny Toys. 6 mana. Summon 4 random 5-cost minions. Make them 2/2. Dude, I hate this card. I just hate it. It's like... It's too high on the RNG scale for me. Like, I like a little bit of RNG, but this, like, the difference between getting the 1/1 that spawns a 5/8 and, I don't know, just getting like a regular 5 drop that doesn't have an effect is so huge. Like if you high roll it, the game will just end, which I don't really like. It's 8/8 stats though. Yeah. But I know that's what I mean. Like, it will always be good, probably, right? And as long as you get like 1 death rattle, it's probably insane. So, I mean, I think this card's great. It's just when you really high roll it, it will just be game ending, which is just stupid. Curves perfectly into evolve weapons. Do we still have Bogspine around for this, I guess? Are we getting Tarantula with it? Yeah. Yeah. God. Mortuary Machine. Yeah. So that would be a good example of like a really bad one to hit, right? You hit Mortuary Machine off of it. Boxspine is gone. I don't know if there is any evolve then. It's still going to be nutty though. Broomstick is not around. Broomstick is gone. I feel like this card's going to be a 5. Revolve? Isn't Revolve gone? Revolve's in right now, but I feel like it's going to be gone. Oh, really? It's not? It's Darkmoon Fair? Okay, so Revolve will still be a thing. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to go with a 5 here. It's a 4.5 to a 5. I just think this card's going to be really, really annoying. It's kind of like I don't like cards like, Arbor Up oftentimes is just like play it on curve, win game. This card feels like it's going to be that way a lot. All right. The Demon Seed. Okay, we're on to Warlock. Warlock time. Touch of the Nathrazim. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If it dies, restore 4 health to your hero. It's good, right? Good. Can't go face, but I mean, Warlock likes healing, and deal 2. 1 mana deal 2 is good. I think it's quite solid. Like a 3.5 or so. 3.5, 4-ish. I'll go with a 3.5. I think the healing is probably going to be more important in Constructed than Arena. Because you can get, like, if you compare it to... There's, like, deal 1 damage to summon a 2/2, for example, which would be way better. But it's still good. Bloodbound Imp. 2 mana, 2/5 demon. Whenever this attacks, deal 2 damage to your hero. So how much self-damage synergy do we have right now? There isn't a ton, is there? The bat, yeah, there's the bat, the 2/4. If you take damage, summon 2 1/1s, but I feel like that card is going to be kind of weak, so I don't think I'm going to draft it that much. Oh, Vulture is back. That's true. There is Vulture. Yeah, Vulture's kind of a cool interaction. I think it's okay. Like, you really love what? Wait, Kevin, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought you were saying you really love Buzzard. And I was like, yeah, I really do love Buzzard. Buzzard's a really good card. This is an easy buff target. I'm just thinking if it's above average. It's not insane. It's somewhere probably in like the 3 range, I would say. I'm just trying to figure out if it's better or worse than an average card. I think it's slightly better. It's not like the 2/4 Hyena is that good. See, I would actually argue that the 2/4 Hyena is really good. I like that card a lot in a lot of classes, so I'm gonna say it's slightly above average. Interesting card though. Okay. Dreaded Mount. Oh god, chat. I don't know about you guys, but I love seeing Dreadsteed return. So 3 mana, give a minion +1/1. When it dies, summon an endless Dreadsteed. And this is what the Dreadsteed is. Death threat at the end of the turn, summon Tamsin's Dreadsteed. They made me a card? Yeah, where's my card reveal for this? Blizzard. Huh? Dreaded Mount and Dreadsteed. You don't give it to Dreads? What the hell? Mage. So anyways, the original Dreadsteed was a bit of a meme. I actually don't think this card's a meme. Like, it's a little bit worse because they're bringing back a lot of silence, but I think this card is actually quite good. Like, if you don't have silence, like, you can use it on a 2-drop, trade up and kill a 3-drop, and then you have a 1/1 on the board for a long time. So I actually think this card's really good. And, you know, if they have a silence, okay, fine, they silence it, but that takes a card to do it. I think it's quite good. I want to say, like, it's between a 4 and a 4.5 for me. 3 mana seems steep for +1/1. Yeah, but you get a Dread Seed after. And, like, having a 1/1 on the board can be quite good. 4? It's like a 4 or 4.5 for me. Should I take a gamble that this is actually a really good card? It's a demon too, right? Yeah. Might not be. I think 4 is probably correct. I'll go with a 4. 4 is good. I like it though. I love seeing Dreadseed return. The return. Runed Mithril Rod. 3 mana, 0/2. After you draw 4 cards, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. No. I won't draft that card. No thank you. I will pass. It's way too expensive. You pass your turn 3 to play this, and then what do you do? Start tapping? You're gonna be dead. It's terrible. It's gotta be a 1. Garbage. Alright. Dark Valley Pact. 4 mana, summon a fiend with stats equal to your hand size. The fiend, is it a demon, I'm assuming? Okay. Alright, so chat, how many cards do you normally have in your hand on turn 4? Like, it's a 4/4 or 5/5? It's like 4 or 5, right? And does this, does it count itself for, it probably doesn't, right? So like, it's independent of this card, right? Old School Twilight Drake is back? Yeah, basically. I don't think it's bad, right? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, like if you, let's say you tap on 2. Comes out as like a 5/5 or something. Doesn't have taunt or anything like that. Damn, it's a kind of a tough card to evaluate. I want to say it's better than average, like a 3.5, but that might be a little bit high. On 4, it's not going to be that good, huh? 4/4, maybe a 5/5, but it's flexible. Depends on what kind of deck the Warlock is. Well, yeah, totally. I mean, like if you're a zoo deck dumping your hand, it's bad, right? But if you're playing more like the handlock style, and like they're definitely making a lot of, we'll see them, but there's a lot of cards that are good for handlock in constructed. So playing more of a control style in Warlock in Arena might actually work, right? I think it's a 4, and the silences are indeed everywhere. This silence doesn't work on this, does it? I'm assuming that this can't be silenced. Like, it's just gonna summon whatever stats you have from your hand. So it would just be like, the stats of this would just change to be like a 4/4 or 5/5, right? Yeah, it can't be silenced, yeah. I'm gonna go with a 3. I'm gonna go with a 3. I was considering giving it a really high, like a higher rating, but on 4 it probably won't be that great. I think these are the kind of cards I tend to overrate a little bit, so I'll just go with a 3. It has potential, but a lot of times it'll be worse than a regular 4-drop. Okay, this is not a 3. Let me get that off the screen. Demonic Assault. 4 mana, deal 3 damage to Fell spell. Summon 2 1/3 Voidwalkers with Taunt. So it's funny, this card when it originally came out, I was like, you know, it's good. It's not like, yeah, it looks like a good card. But then I was like, wait, it can go face. Because I was comparing it to like Flanking Strike, right? Flanking Strike, deal 3 to a minion, and then summon a 3/3. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's fairly comparable. But the fact that it can go face is a big deal. And then I would also argue that 2 1/3 Voidwalkers isn't always worse than a 3/3, right? Like, protect your face, could just be annoying, could protect your minions. So basically what I'm saying is the card kept going up in value. I feel like it's around what, like a 4 point, I think it's like a 4.5. But it's really good. It's really, really, really good. So let's go with 4.5. I don't think it's quite a 5. But yeah, it's a great card. Okay. Shady Bartender. 5 mana, 4/4, tradable. Battlecry, give your demons +2/+2. So if you just landed on 1 demon, it is quite good, but how often are you going to do that? Seems shady. But I mean, the fact that it's tradable means that if you don't have any demons, you can just get rid of it, right? So I don't think it's terrible. How often will it be good though? So it's kind of a difficult card to evaluate. Depends on how often you'll have demons, right? Yeah, just have the Dreadsteed. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you have like 3 demons and it's like the best card ever, but the chances of that happening are really, really low. I think it's going to be a below average card, honestly. I don't think you're going to have like, you need to be ahead or have a demon in your hand to play with it. So 2/2 is a lot of stats, but I think it's going to be below average. I'm going to go with a 2.5. But I could be wrong on this, right? Like, I mean, it really just depends. 2 mana summon 2/3/2s or and then this on 7. That's true. That card is still around. That is true. You do have that card, and you still have the 1/1s. But those, you know, that's the ideal scenario. And in those scenarios, it will be nuts, right? I think 2.5 is fair. Sure, there are definitely times where it can pop off, and it could be the right pick in certain scenarios. Anatheron, I don't know if I'm saying that right. 6 mana, 8/6 demon, costs 1 if your hand is full. That's not good, right? Like a 6 mana, 8/6 isn't the worst thing ever, but it's not good. 8/6 is a decent stat line. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, it's like never gonna work, right? You have to have a full hand. I don't think it's very good. I think it's pretty bad. We can keep it as a 2.5. You're not going to take it over other better legendaries, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on it. All right. Entitled Customer. 6 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, deal damage equal to your hand size to all other minions. Huh. It's an interesting card, right? I definitely feel like it's interesting. Dreads the card. I am nothing like this card. Can we get a ban on that guy? Mods? We got some new mods. Can we get rid of that guy? Yeah, I mean, so it's AoE on a stick, but the stick is really shitty, right? It's like a little stick. Like a 3/2 is barely a stick. Three, 2, deal 4 is probably fairly reasonable. It's not bad. I actually think it's pretty good. And, you know, like, you can tap, potentially, to, like, set up a bigger AoE. Maybe, like, a 4? I'm gonna go on the higher side. I'm actually gonna go with a 4 on this one. AoE is rarely bad, and it can get up to be, like, a pretty big amount of AoE, so... Seems okay. Whatever the voice line's gonna be like, oh, probably be great. Probably be great. Okay, Provoke. Oh, on to Warrior. The final class. And then we have neutrals, but we're getting there. We're getting there, chat. Provoke. 0 mana tradable. Choose a friendly minion. Enemy minions attack it. This is one of the harder cards for me to this is one of the harder cards for me to evaluate in Arena. Like, it's tradable, which means, you know, if it's useless at the time, it's, you know, you can swap it out. It's pretty good removal, right? Like, it helps you come back. It gives your overly statted minions a way to trade off, even if they don't have taunt. I think it's actually pretty good. Like a 3.5 maybe? A little bit above average. Yeah, with like Basilisk or something is pretty good. This is the 14 taunt. So the 14 taunt does rotate, but yeah, I mean, like, there are cards that are good with it. It does cost 1 to trade it, but still, that's relatively cheap, right? I think it's decent. I think it's decent. Kind of bad if you're behind though, right? No, so that's the thing, right? If you're behind, you can play a minion that someone would normally ignore and then force you know, your opponent's minions to attack into it, right? So it can be a comeback card. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna go with a 3.5. It's like a 3.5 to a 4 for me. We'll go with a 3.5. Okay, skip the quest. Shiver their timbers, matey. How'd I do, chat? Was that good? Did you hire me? Good or bad? Shiver their timbers. 1 mana. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If you control a pirate, deal 5 instead. So 95% of the time it's 1 mana deal 2, which isn't great, but it's okay. If you have a pirate, it's like nuts. There are a decent number of pirates, right? Sword Eater's still around. We still have the Anchorman still a thing. 1 mana deal 5 is insane. I kind of like it, actually. Kind of like it. 3.5 again? The all 3.5 draft? 3.5, baby. Okay. Harbor Scamp. 2 mana, 2/2. Battlecry, draw a pirate. Ooh, this is good. All right, which is good. Like, I think there are enough pirates in Warrior that this is good. 2 mana, 2/2 draw cards is solid, right? What is that worth? Like a 4? And it's targeted draw, yeah. Like if you have Sword Eater, I feel like pirates right now are better than the average card. So I think it's pretty good. Not really great. No, it doesn't discover. Yeah, but how many pirates are not good? Netherwalker discovers, sure. So, but I would say that Netherwalker is like a 4.5, right? Like it's a 4.5, maybe not quite a 5, but yeah, you know, that card's really good. Somewhere between a 3 and a 4. I want to say this is a 4. Plus, if I put as a 3.5, chat's gonna be like, oh, look at Dren's classic. Doing another 3.5. Wow. Yeah, there he goes again. I'm gonna give it a 4. Fight me, chat. I'm gonna draw my Sword Eater, and then I'm gonna play my Sword Eater on 4. I'm gonna play my Anchorman on 5. Get wrecked. 4, baby. Cargo Guard. 3 mana, 2/4 pirate. At the end of your turn, gain 3 armor. What? At the end of your turn, gain 3 armor. I mean, 3 does, like, it does add up a little bit, but the stats are too bad. I just don't like, 2 4s, so I think it's pretty weak. Like a 2. Why did it say a 4? I literally changed it to a 2 and it popped out a 4. 2. Boo-hoo. Heavy Plate. 3 mana, tradable, gain 8 armor. I can't be sold on this tradable, chat. Look, I agree that tradable is a good card. Or tradable is a good effect. Brain. 8 armor. I don't want that. I just simply don't want it. This is 2.5 at least just for the tradable? No. No, it's not. I think it's worse. 2? Like, sometimes health does save you. Sure. But it's bad. It's really bad. I'm gonna go with a 1.5. Boop. Stormwind Freebooter. 3 mana, 3/3 pirate. Battlecry, give your hero 2 attack this turn. Ooh. Ooh, good, right? It's a good arena card. Like, oftentimes you play it on 3, kill a 2-drop in the ideal scenario. The 3/3 body isn't great, but you can also use it like you have a weapon equipped and then you play it with a weapon, right? It's pretty cool. Pretty good. Think we need to go back and give that 1 minute spell a higher rating with all the pirates? Yeah, there are a lot of pirates. I like this card a lot. It's like a 4, 4.5, probably a 4. If it was a 3, 4, it'd be like a 5 or 4.5, but I think 4 is fair. Remote Controlled Golem. 4 mana, 3/6. Mech tag. After this takes damage, shuffle 2 golem parts into your deck. When drawn, summon a 2/1 mech. So what's a 3/6? What's a 4 mana 3/6? Still above average, probably, right? A 4 mana 3/6 is probably at least like a 3.5, and it's a very small bonus, I would say. So between a 3.5 and a 4, probably. If it takes 2 hits, it's probably quite good. And there's a good chance it will. I don't hate it. Yeah, I think a 4 is fair. 3/6s rarely die in 1 hit. Seems pretty good. 4 mana 3/6 is like a 2.5 nowadays? No, I wouldn't say that. The 6 health matters a lot because even the 5 health 4-drops don't just kill it. I don't hate it. Cowardly Grunt. 6 mana 6/2. Death Rattle, summon a minion from your deck. The fuck is this? It's actually not terrible, is it? Okay, so hear me out. I don't think it's that bad. 6 attack means you have to have a way to kill it, right? Like, it can actually kill stuff. And the death rattle is it summons, not that's your hand. You pull something from your deck, right? Let's say worst case is like you pull a 2-drop, right? How bad is a 6 mana 6/2 that thins your deck, gets rid of that 2-drop that you don't want anymore? I don't think it's that bad. I think it's on par with something like Sky Golem. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Even Piggy kills it? That's true. Yeah, I mean, obviously 2 health isn't great, but we're talking about like the low roll. Like what if it pulls something nutty, right? Like pulls another 6-drop or a 7-drop or even if this pulls a 4-drop, it should be pretty nuts. So I don't actually think it's that bad. I think like the high roll potential of it's pretty nutty. Do you think you can high roll Dreads? Of course not. I'm not going to draft it. I think you guys that have all the good RNG should draft it. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to say it's above average. 3.5? Maybe not a 4, but... How much do you rate the Fel Summoner and Demon Hunter? That's completely different, though. You have to... That's from your hand, right? That's completely different. This is from your deck. So it's like a totally different... Like, they aren't even comparable. This, you always get something, right? The problem with that Demon Hunter card is oftentimes you don't get anything. You guys are sleeping on this card. I think it's a 3.5, maybe even a 4. I'm going with a 3.5. I'm going with the 3.5. I would not play Gather Your Party on a Stick. Okay, but here's the thing. Like, you guys are thinking about all the easy ways to kill it. I'm about to blow your mind. Sometimes they won't have that perfect way to kill it. They won't have a Hog Rancher. Scorpion's gone, right? The 4 mana 5/2. I think that one rotates. And then it can actually kill something. Or, like, it has enough attack that they have to at least respect it or do something to it. You can't just ignore it, right? Which is normally what you want to do with these Death Rattles, summon a minion from your deck, or Death Rattle, you know, summon a minion, a random minion or whatever. So I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. 3.5 to 4. We'll see. We'll see. What would you rate Sky Golem? About the same. Sky Golem's probably around a 3.5 these days. 3.5 to 4. I would say it's pretty similar to that. All right. Lothar. 7 mana, 7/7. At the end of your turn, attack a random enemy minion. If it dies, gain +3/3. I mean, you should be able to set this card up pretty well, right? Like, you know, you set it up so it will kill something. Like, it basically will have rush. I think it's pretty good. +3/3 is a lot. Yeah, I agree, Extra Chat. I think it's about a 4. I don't think it's quite a 4.5. There will be times where it's, you know, like if they have overset things or if it hits something that's high attack but low health, it doesn't feel great, but 4 seems fair. All right. All right. We are on to the neutrals. Look at this majestic boar. Take a drink of water, stretch. I'm going to play a set of ads, and we're going to do it. We're going to blast these neutrals, okay? Get up. Get up with me. Seriously, get up and stretch. If you guys have been sitting as long as I have, it's not good for you. Stretch out those legs. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Okay, that kind of hurts my knees. I got bad knees. Oh. Whoa. Use your vibrator dreads. Are you talking about my Hyperice Hypervolt, which is amazing? I don't have it here. It's downstairs. I can't use my my percussive massage device right now. Okay, can't do it. Here we go, chat. Neutral. Starting off with a great one. Probably the most powerful card in the entire expansion. Absolutely insane. Elwyn Boar. 1 mana, 1/1. You might be like, yeah, whatever. Death Rattle. If you had 7 Elwyn Boars die this game, equip a 15/3 Sword of 1,000 Truce. Can we see it? Yeah. Okay, I'm just kidding, by the way. It's terrible. Yeah, I mean, we have to be somewhat serious. I'm known for being a serious gamer that plays at a high level and gives the best reviews on the planet. It's awful. It's going to be almost impossible to have 7 boars die. So, I apologize in advance for this one. But it's a 1. I do love the face, though. It's the face. Look at it. Look at that boar. Yep. Yep. Okay. Peasant. 1 mana, 2/1. At the start of your turn, draw a card. Start of your turn. So it has to live a turn for you to get a card. I don't think it's terrible. Because, like, you can play it in a time where it's awkward for your opponent to have to ping, right? Like, if there's multiple things you have to ping. Or if you're up against something that's not a ping class, it's not bad. I don't think it's terrible. Like an average card, maybe? Like a 3? I feel like a 3 is probably decent. Yeah, obviously, depending on whether the opponent has a ping or not is a huge difference. If they don't have a ping, this card could be just like really busted. But I think 3 is fair. All right, Stockade's Guard. 1 mana, 1/3. Battlecry. Give a friendly minion taunt. So we basically had this card previously. I forget the Sun Fury Protector, right? So that was a 2 mana, 2/3 that did the same thing. And it's fine. Right, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little bit better than that card because it's easier to play with another card, but you know, it's like a fine card. It's like a 3, I would say, or so. It's like between a 3 or a 3.5, but you know, we'll just keep it as a 3. It's fine. Yeah, it's a good 1-drop, right? I mean, it's just a 1 mana, 1/3. Okay. Auctioneer Jackson. 2 mana, 2/3. Whenever you trade, discover a card from your deck to draw instead. I mean, it's a good effect, but like for a legendary, you're not going to take this card very often, right? You just simply aren't. Like, even if you have a lot of trade, I just don't see it. Like, it's just not powerful enough. Like, you maybe trade like trade 2 off in the turn, and like that's cool, but I just don't think it's going to be that good. Still a 2 mana, 2/3. So if you're going to give it an overall, and it has some upside, so it's probably like a 3, 2.5. I'm just going to keep it at 3. All right. Deep Run Engineer. 2 mana, 1/2. Battlecry. Discover a mech. It costs 1 less. I really like this card. We've had cards somewhat similar to this, where what was the name? It was a priest card. It was a 2 mana, 1/2. Battlecry. Discover a Death Rattle minion, but it didn't have the it costs 1 less part. And I think the it costs 1 less part is a huge deal for this card, because it lets you it lets you cheat out mana, right? Like on another turn. So you could play, I mean, I guess Shredder's gone, but you could play like the Berserker, right? On turn 3 after it. So I think this card's actually quite good. It's pronounced Jackson. Oh, for this card? Jackson. Okay. My bad. Yeah, I think this card's really good. Really, really good. 4? Maybe not quite a 4.5, but I think it's definitely a 4. I like it a lot. Also, just Discover is fun. Yeah, Claw Machine would count. Yep. Claw Machine's still around, I think. Yep. Dirigible, yep. Pretty good. Encumbered Pack Mule. 2 mana, 2/3. Beast Tag. Taunt. When you draw this, add a copy of it to your hand. So chat, one just aside about this card. If it starts in your opening hand, you don't get an extra copy, is that correct? Because that doesn't count as drawing it, right? Okay. But it's, anyways, it's really good. 2 mana, 2/3 taunt is good on its own, and getting 2 of them is just great. So this is like a very arena card in my opinion. Like it's a 2-drop with some extra value. I just like it a lot. 3.5. It's like probably a 3.5. I don't know if you can quite say a 4 because it's. At the end of the day, it's a it's still just a 2/3, but it's good. Yeah, it's very comparable to Sneaky Delinquent, I would say. I would say Sneaky might be a little better. Sneaky might be just a little bit better, but it's still very good. Okay, oh, if you draw with a Paladin buffer, yeah, that'd be sick. Florist, 2 mana, 2/3. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a nature spell in your hand by 1. Yeah. So cards like this, it's really hard to give an overall rating for, right? Like, so if you're a Druid or a Shaman, this gets a little bit of a bump, right? If you're other classes, it doesn't matter. So, you know, it's like a 2.5, if you want to say a 2 mana 2/3 is that, to a 3. You know, it's pretty easy card to evaluate. We can give it a 3. But, yeah. It's fine, right? Not really a card that we need to talk about too much. Mailbox Dancer. Look at those moves on that mailbox, getting down without a frown, going to town. 2 mana, 3/2. Battle Cry. Add a coin to your hand. Death Rattle. Give your opponent 1. It's pretty good. So the big thing is you get the coin first, right? And it has to die for your opponent to get it. So compared to Loan Shark, you don't have the issue where they get to use the coin like way before you, right? So I think this card's pretty good. If you play it and they kill it off and then they play a 3-drop before you, that does feel a little bit bad. But I still think overall this card is pretty good. Like 3 probably, slightly above average for a 2-drop. Like, I don't know if it's quite a 3.5, but I think 3 is fair. Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty. Valley of... Is that even the words? Okay. We're starting to go crazy here, chat. It's late in the stream. We've been doing a lot of talking today. We did the review of the cards that are like leaving, and then now they're coming back, and now we're doing this. We're starting to go a little crazy over here. Give me a break. Pandaren Importer, 2 mana, 2 mana, 1/3. Battlecry, discover a spell that didn't start in your deck. This is quite good, right? Like, I don't think that it didn't start in your deck matters all that much. Like, for Arena, I don't think it really matters all that much. I think it's pretty good. Spells are strong. Like, the body feels pretty bad. Like, you're basically... It's a 1-drop stats for a 2-drop, but... I still think it's pretty good. No, it can't be from any class, because Discover is restricted, right? So it's gonna be your class. And like certain classes that have better spells, like a mage or priest or whatever, probably will be better for. But I like it. What is it? 3.5 probably? 3.5 to 4? I think it's probably like I'm comparing it to like the 2/2s that I put around a 4. I feel like I give it a 4. Might be a little bit high, but I'm okay with that. A little worse than Scorpion. I mean, it's a lot worse than Scorpion, but Scorpion's like a busted card, so that's okay. That's all right. SI7 Skulker. 2 mana, 2/2. Stealth. Battlecry, the next card you draw costs 1 less. Just thinking if I would rather have this or like a 2-3 or 3-2. I think they're about comparable. Stealth does help it a lot. Yeah, stealth does help it a lot. I think it is probably a little bit better than your average 2-drop, right? So maybe we give like a 3.5. I don't know if it's a 4 though. But I think 3.5 is fair. Yeah, like you could high roll the reduction, right? So. Do you have to draw on this turn? No. It's just the next card you draw. So it would work with draw mechanics. It would also just work with your regular draw you get at the start of your turn. Yep. Stockade's Prisoner, 2 mana 5/4. Starts dormant after you play 3 cards. This awakens. So this is one of the cards that I was talking about a little bit during stream earlier. I think it's kind of hard to evaluate. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. It's somewhere in between there. But if you compare it to some of the other dormant cards that are great, right? Like Felmaw, Vile Fiend, those come out 2 turns after you play them. And this one, most of the time, it's going to come out 3 turns after you play it. And it doesn't have rush or like, you know, Felmaw goes face immediate, or Felmaw does a hit in immediately. So their impact is quicker. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit slow to be good in most scenarios, right? If you're on coin, it could be 1 turn, sure. So like you could play this on 2, and then you could go 2-drop coin, 1-drop, boom, 5/4. But that's like the best case scenario. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit below average for a 2-drop. Man, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I think it's around average. Maybe we just go 3 to be safe. By slow, you mean fair? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of those dormant cards are just broken. I'm okay with a 3 on this one. I don't think it's above average because I think in the regular scenario where you play this on 2, you play a 3, you play a 4, you play a 5, like it's going to come out really late and you're going to probably be pretty far behind. So I think 3 is fair. Interesting card though. Okay, Enthusiastic Banker, 3 mana 2/3. At the end of your turn, store a card from your deck. Death Rattle, add the stored cards to your hand. Okay, so it's vulnerable to silence, but it's a 3 mana 2/3. Draw a card. Well, store a card. Does that mean that it pulls it from your deck, chat? What does that mean? Or does it like copy it? I'm assuming it pulls it. Store a card sounds like you pull it. Pull, not copy. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, if they can't kill it for a couple turns, it could be disgusting value, right? I don't think it's bad. I think it's okay. It's not. So it's not a. I'll put it this way. It's a 3-drop you don't want to play on 3. I would say most of the time, right? Like you drop it at another point of the game, or maybe they have to focus on killing something else, and then you get 2 cards out of it, and that would be busted. Like 3 mana 2/3, draw 2 from your deck is pretty good. I think it's okay. I'm gonna say it's actually slightly above average, like a 3.5. Seems fair here. You just don't think about it as a 3-drop, right? Okay. Entrapped Sorceress, 3 mana 3/4, Battlecry. If you control a quest, discover a spell. I've got bad news for you, chat. There's no quests in Arena. They don't exist. Therefore, it's the value of a 3 mana 3/4, which is a 3. Boom, easy clap. Done and done. Boom, baby. Easiest review of the whole thing. Okay. Flight Master Dungar. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, choose a flight path and go dormant. Awaken with a bonus when you complete it. Just as a side for this one, can we just stop with dormant? Check, can we? I don't like dormant. I know some of you do, but I just... This is a more fair dormant card than some of the other ones, but I don't like dormant, personally. Not a fan. Okay, am I going to go through all of these, like... Do you guys remember off the top of your head what the different flight paths are? Oh, wait, I can see them down here. There we go. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll read it out for you guys, okay? My clip isn't great on this one. Westfall. In 1 turn, summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. So that's the shortest one. Ironforge. In 3 turns, restore 10 health to your hero. Or Eastern Plaguelands. In 5 turns, deal 12 damage randomly split among enemies. Okay, so what are you normally going to be taking with this card? I feel like it's almost never Ironforge, unless you're really behind, right? I just don't think that's going to be good enough. I think most of the time you'll be taking Westfall, right? Because, like, this is 5 turns is a long time away. So how good is a 3 mana, 3/3 dormant for a turn, and then you get an extra adventure? It's pretty mediocre. Like, the fact that it does, you do have the versatility where if you want to go for this effect, the 12 damage effect, like if you're ahead, you can do that to ensure you're ahead. I'm just comparing it to like the 3-drop, the ooze, right? I think it's comparable and maybe slightly better to it. It's like, I would say it's like Ectoplasm, but a little bit better than Ectoplasm because you have the flexibility of being able to do this if you want with the Eastern Plagueland. So I'm going to say it's pretty good. Like a 4? Is that too high? I think it's all right. 3.5 to 4 seems fair to me. Okay. Impatient Shopkeep, way too high? It's not way too high. It's there's no way it's like, I don't think it's a 3. It's between a 3.5 and a 4 for that one, I'd say. You guys are haters. You should love the cards, don't hate them. Impatient Shopkeeper, or wait, Shopkeep. 3 mana, 3/3, tradable rush. That's fine, right? The fact that it's tradable definitely bumps it up a little bit. You know, you play it, you kill their 2/3, you have a 3/1 left over. That's fine. I don't know. This card doesn't really get me that excited, but it's not bad. Like, I think I'd rather just have a 3/4 a lot of the time, but... 3? I think 3's fine. You know, it's like a card that you'll take over bad cards. Tradable is valuable. It's fine. All right, Nobleman. 3 mana, 2/3. This is my noble voice. Battle cry. Create a golden copy of a random card in your hand. So what have we been giving a 3 mana, 2/3 draw card? It actually might be a little worse than draw card because I would say in Arena you keep cheaper cards because you want to curve out. So you might not get as much value with it. That's kind of overthinking it a little bit, but it's fine. This feels like a 3 to a 3.5, right? Again, it's a 3 you don't want to play on 3. It's between a 3 and a 3.5. Awful topic, though. That is true. It's omega terrible in that spot. We'll go with a 3. Because then you don't even get anything, right? Have to hold it or whatever. 3 seems okay. Northshire Farmer. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, choose a friendly beast. Shuffle 3 3/3 copies into your deck. Pretty terrible, right? pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. This card is amazing with Elwyn Boar. That is true. But who is going to draft a boar? You say bad, but Scorpet's still here? I mean, yeah, sure. I just think 3-mana 3/3s aren't very good. And like the chances of having a beast on the board that you want to shuffle is just low. I just don't think it's good. I think it's just bad. I'm going to say it's a 2. Are the 3/3 copies 3 costs as well, or do they keep the original cost? They should keep... Wait. They should keep the original cost, right? Shuffle 3 3/3 copies into your deck. Does anyone know the answer to that? There'll be 3 cost 3/3s? Okay. This is one of those where you ask chat a question and it's like literally split, like 50% say something and 50% say the other. would say if it costs 3. The chat is in shambles. Yeah, I don't know the answer. So 3 3/3 copies. I feel like copies mean it should keep its original cost, but we'll just, the stat line will be 3/3, right? Anyhow, I think it's a 2 regardless. Okay. 2/2. Package Runner. 3 mana. Can only attack if you have at least 8 cards in hand. What? 3 mana 5/6 that never attacks? I mean, I guess you can give it taunt with like the 1-drop or something, right? But that's, you know, that's a stretch. I like, you can't, that kind of a combo, it's too hard to pull off. I think this is it's like a 1 to 1 point. I think that, I really think it's a 1. Because it's 3 mana, it's not even that cheap. I'm gonna go with a 1. I was gonna give it a 1.5. I don't think it's even worth that. All right. Rustrot Viper. 3 mana 3/4 beast, tradable. Battlecry, destroy your opponent's weapon. I really like this card. This just feels like a very good arena card to me. You know, if it's a 3/4, good stats. If you're playing against a weapon class and you can afford to trade it into your deck for when, you know, for later when they have a weapon, or, you know, you might just hold in your hand against that class. If you draw it later on, it's not good. You can get rid of it. I really like this card. Yeah, I think it's quite good. What do we give it? 4? My first thought is a 4. And everyone, Chad, are you guys actually triggered that it's a Viper and not a ooze? I feel like people are actually triggered. Guys, Vipers can destroy weapons too. Why does it have to be an ooze? Huh? Open your mind a little bit, okay? All right. Traveling Merchant. 3 mana 2/3 tradable. Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each other friendly minion you control. So this is another card we talked about a little bit during stream earlier. My gut is that this card isn't that good, but I could be wrong. Like, this is definitely one of those cards where you could be wrong about. So the card that it feels the most similar to, is Frostwolf Warlord, right? Which is a 5 mana 4/4, gain +1/1 for each, you know, minion on the board. And sometimes, you know, back in the day, that card was really good because you'd actually have the board and it would be super overstated. But, you know, that was a while ago. The fact that it's tradable is a huge deal. So if you are behind and, you know, it would be a 3 mana 2/3, then you can trade it away. So let's see the stats. If you have 2 minions on the board, it's a 4/5, 3 mana 4/5, which is pretty good. I don't know. I think it's okay. I'm gonna go below. So I see some people saying 4. I feel like it's going to be a little worse than that. But you know, I'm open to being wrong about this. I feel like it's like a 3.5, 3 to 3.5. But yeah, it's an interesting card. You know, it's one of those where if you are ahead and you're a class with a bunch of tokens like Druid or even Hunter right now, like it can just blast you out of the game. So, but I think 3.5 is fair on average. All right. Two-Faced Investor. 3 mana, 2/4. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a card in your hand by 1. 50% chance to increase. Oh, geez. It's terrible, right? Like, terrible. Like, the stat line isn't even good. It's a 3 mana, 2/4. So, it's a 1. It's funny. And some people will probably draft it, but it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, Cheesemonger. 4 mana, 3/6. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, add a random spell with the same cost to your hand. I think this card's pretty good. Like, I think we've kind of seen that Ogremancer is not a bad card. It really isn't. And you could argue that this is a more negative effect if your opponent, you know, if you have to play a spell into this. So I think it's pretty good. Like, I think 3/6 are still okay, and I think the effect is quite good too. So I feel like it's around a 4. Pretty good. I'm really interested to see what happens with offering rates. Like, are they going to keep the epic offering rate high? Or are they going to drop it? Like, what's going to happen? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Guild Trader. 4 mana, 3/4. Tradable spell damage +2. Yeah, so this is one of those cards where with certain classes, like let's say Mage or Priest, where you have that AoE, it can be actually really good because two spell damage is a lot, but it's a little bit expensive. Like, I didn't really like my spell damage minions to be cheaper than 4. So I don't know. You never want to tempo it for the stat, so it's only good when you have a spell lined up with it. But like in a class like Mage with the 1 mana fire spell, 1 mana deal 2 becomes 1 mana deal 4. It's pretty good. You know, as far as like an overall grade, which is what we're doing here, I think it's below average, like probably a 2. But you know, with classes that can make better use of it, it could be like a 3.5 or, you know, something. But on average, I think it's pretty weak. All right. Royal Librarian. 4 mana, 3/4. Tradable Battlecry, silence a minion. Pretty good. But very similar to Spellbreaker, right? And I would say silence is, if anything, more valuable these days with all these these mount cards going around. And the fact, you know, that it's tradable, if you don't need to silence at the time and you need another card, you can swap it out. He looks annoyed. Yeah, chat told him his rating sucked and he's pissed. So he that book there, he wrote in a list of all the people that talk shit about his ratings in the arena review, and he's putting out his bookshelf to have it forever. How about that? Careful what you do. It's good though. Yeah, I think it's good. Like a 3.5 maybe? It's way better than now because the body actually does something. 3.5 seems fair. Could even be like a 4, honestly, because of the tradable, right? But I think 3.5 is fine. Okay, Spice Bread Baker. Dude, I'm getting hungry. 4 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, restore health to your hero equal to your hand size. Bad. Simply bad. It's just not good. You know, in Warlock or something, it's a lot better, but it's just bad, right? So it's pretty much a never draft. We'll give it a 1. Yep. I like the art though. Cool card. Stubborn Suspect. 4 mana, 3/3. Death Rattle, summon a random 3-cost minion. This seems like it's going to be a lot of stats on average. So I'm trying to think of the worst case scenarios. Like, what are the really bad threes? Is it only Al right now? Like, Al's a 2/1. That would be awful. What are the other real low drops? I mean, I guess we're getting more 2/3s right now. Yeah, sure, Desert Hare's End. That's true. And we're getting more of these 2/3s that have like an effect. And some of them are Battle Cry, which then makes it a little bit worse. Hog Rancher. I mean, that's still a 3/2. It's not the end of the world, right? A 3/3 that spawns a 3/2 isn't that bad. And you have to think about the high rolls. You get a Sunball Initiate from it, or a Basilisk from it, or Ectoplasm from it. Then it's really nuts. So I think it's good. I think it's a good card. Like a 4. Yeah, or like a 4/7. Yeah, there's some other like really nutty hits. Can you get Scorpion from this? Sure, why not? Why not? I'll go with a 4. Should be a lot of stats on average, and even if it low rolls, it's not the worst. So okay. Battleground Battlemaster. 5 mana, 5/5. Adjacent minions have Wind Fury. This is one of those cards that I just hate it. I don't hate a lot of cards, but I hate this card. Because it's just one of those cards where, like, most of the time it's kind of whatever, right? But, like, you could die from ridiculous health amounts due to this card. Like, I just don't like it as a card. You know, your opponent has a, I don't know, 5 attack and 3 health minion, and they just dunk you for 26. That's not good math. 16. Hey, my point stands. It's late in the stream. All right, so how good is it? I think it's really good. Like, because even if you aren't using it to go face, you can use it to get like extra free kills, right? So I want to say it's like between a 4 and a 4.5. I'm gonna go on the higher side here because I just think like it can be game ending, and the stats aren't that bad, so we can go with a 4.5. Ban it from Arena. I wouldn't hate this card being removed from Arena. Like, I don't necessarily think they have to, but it just feels like a card that, I don't know, like Wind Fury, basically, not for free, because a 5 mana 5/5 is a little bit understated these days, I'd say. But, yeah, it's pretty stupid. It's also Aura Effect. Yeah, exactly. So you can, like, trade stuff off or whatever, and then it goes to the next one. It seems pretty stupid. Yep. All right. Card makes me mad, but it's okay. Lion's Guard, 5 mana, 4/6. Battle Cry. If you have 15 or less health, gain +2, 4, and taunt. So on turn 5, you're rarely at that health total, right? So a 5 mana 4/6 isn't the end of the world. If it goes off, it's a 6/10. Oof. A 6/10 is kind of nutty. For 5? Wow. Yeah, it's like a better hooked Reaver, I'd say. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Trying to think about how good. 5 mana 4/6 I would say is slightly below average. When it triggers, it's way above average. So maybe like a 4? Four seems fair. It'll be hard to trigger in some classes, right? But yeah, quite good. Quite good. All right. Stormwind Guard, 5 mana 4/5 with taunt. Battlecry, give adjacent minions +1/1. I'm not sure what to think about this card, because like what I found is expensive cards that do like small buffs are kind of, they're like okay, but like compared to like Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus is a 4 mana 3/3, and you get the same +1 buff. Like this is better, I would say, probably because it has taunt. Like a 4/5 taunt is more relevant than a 3/3 not taunt. Obviously, it comes down later, but I don't know. It's like pretty similar because in some, when you really want the buff, Defender of Argus is better because it's cheaper to play. The body is better on this one, but it's more expensive. I think it's like a 3.5. I feel like 3.5 is fair. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it does mean, like, again, like this card, there's a lot of cards with like the mount cards where you're going to want to trade more. I feel like this is going to be a meta of trade. So, yeah. Fungalmancer's a 2/2 that gives +2/2. Yeah. I mean, the thing about Fungalmancer is +2/2 allows for some pretty crazy uptrades, right? Like, +1/1 can, but it's much harder to make work. Like, I feel like Fungalmancer is oftentimes more swingy, I guess. But anyhow, I think 3.5 is fair. This is much more forgiving if you hit one target. That is true. That is true. That is true. Like a 4/5 and one buff isn't bad either. I'm gonna stick with 3.5. I could see it being a 4, but I think 3.5 is fair. All right, City Architect. Six mana 4/4. Battlecry summon 2/0/5 castle walls with taunt. What is all that cheat? 2/0/5 taunts. I mean, it's a card that's hard to give an overall rating for. Like, if you want to stall out, this card's really good. But its stats are pretty terrible if you are like trying to fight for the board. It does remind me a lot of Safeguard. That's the first card I thought of when I saw it. Like, understated, but annoying, a lot to get through. Good when you're ahead. I mean, it can be okay for pushing face, right? 0/5 that's a lot of stuff to have to go through. I don't know. 6 mana 4/4 gain 10 is kind of bonkers. Can be. Because when you want to stick something for a mount for next turn, that's true. That's true. The mount cards do make it a lot better. I'll go with slightly above average. I think 3.5 is fair. Always 3.5. But because like 4 seems a bit too high because like a 4/4 body is just kind of eh. But I think the effect is powerful enough and annoying enough to make it good. All right. Cornelius Rome. 6 mana 4/5. At the start and end of each player's turn, draw a card. So this card is a ton of draw. So what this means, for anyone who hasn't seen this card yet, you will always draw 2 from this card. Because at the end of your turn you draw, at the start of their turn you draw. If they can't kill it on that turn, then you would draw an additional time at the end of their turn, an additional time at the start of your turn, an additional time at the end of your turn, an additional time at the start of their turn again. That's a lot of drawing. That's a lot of cards. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's really, really, really good. Like a 6 mana 4/5 draw 2 is already fine, and if you draw 6, that's pretty crazy. So, yeah, I think it's really good. Like a 4.5. I don't know if I'd quite say it's a 5 level, Because you do have to play 6 mana 4/5, but I think it's pretty easily a 4.5. Just like that amount of draw is pretty nutty. I think a 6 mana 4/5 draw 2 is already pretty bonkers. I mean, 6 mana 4/5 draw 2 is good, but yeah, the potential to draw so much more. I mean, the thing is, like, if your hand is somewhat full, there's a good chance you won't be able to get all that draw value, but at that point you're already probably winning. So yeah, it's between a 4.5 and a 5. I think 4.5 is what I feel in my gut. Lady Prestor, 6 mana 6/7 battlecry, transform minions in your deck into random dragons. They keep their original stats and cost. I'm not sure how good this card is, but I love this card. I just love dragons. So it's important to note it's in your deck, not in your hand. But yeah, you know, so like there's some insane high rolls. Alexstrasza or Ysera, you know, the effect is just bonkers. What are the other dragons that are going to be really good with this, chat? I guess Malygos in the right deck could be really good. Onyxia is going to be really good. Yeah, I mean, it should, like, and the body isn't bad. Like, a 6 mana 6/7 is fine. Crowd Roaster, yeah, if you have enough of them. Yes, chat, you guys are right. Yes, Ysera would be pretty good. Wow, you guys must watch a really talented arena streamer to have learned that. Skeletal, so Skeletal actually rotates. We lose that one. Deathwing, yeah, Deathwing could still be really good. So anyhow, yeah, Immorus comes back too, which could be quite good too. Yep. Yeah, I like this card a lot. I don't know. I still don't think it's a 5. Because you got to draw them, and then, you know, how many are you going to draw? Like, what are the chances you hit a real high roll? But I still think it's really good. So, like, 4.5 seems appropriate for this card as well to me. What if you're picking between this card and the previous one? I feel like this card is probably more consistent in more types of decks. But I'd probably pick this one more because it's more fun. Okay. All right. Moarg Forgefiend, 8 mana 8/8 demon, taunt, death rattle, gain 8 armor. Man, this card is a lot of cheat. So obviously, like, this is probably for like a death rattle rogue constructed type thing, but I think it's pretty decent in general. Like an 8/8 isn't great, but protects your face, and then you get 8 more armor off of it. I think it's okay. Like, slightly above average. Are we gonna give it another 3.5? I mean, maybe it's not. Like, it's a big card that doesn't do that well on the board, though. Like, it really depends on the type of it depends on the type of deck you are. Like, in a deck where you want to be controlling defensive, it's quite good, but in a deck where where you want to be aggressive or stuff that's stickier, it's pretty prone to removal. I'm okay with a 3.5. I don't want to put it much higher than that. It's for me, it's honestly between a 3 and a 3.5. Like, for big cards, you want them to do a little more than this, I feel like. So 3.5 might be high, but it's okay. Varian, King of Stormwind, 8 mana 7/7 battlecry, draw a rush minion to gain rush, repeat for taunt and divine shield. We talked about this card before, right? I'm trying to remember. It's all based on rush. So, like, you draw a rush minion, then you draw another rush minion, and you get taunt, and then if you draw a third rush minion, you get divine shield. Or no? Am I thinking it wrong? It's the other way? It's when you draw the keywords? Okay. So that makes it a little bit harder to build then. Because, okay, draw rush is going to be pretty easy. Draw taunt is pretty easy. How often are you going to have a divine shield? Because I feel like divine shield is needed to make it insane. Otherwise, like, I mean, it's still a lot of draw, though. Even if you don't get the divine shield, You get an 8 mana 7/7 rush, brush taunt, and you draw 2 cards. Still pretty good. Like with a divine shield, it's insane. So I feel like that's kind of like the border of whether it's insane or not. It's definitely a 4. I'm just thinking if it's higher than that. 4.5 maybe. I don't know if it's quite a 5 because you have to have all those things in your deck. Dirigible is the most common divine shield. Yeah. Even if it draws 2, it's still fine. Is Divine Rager out? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with a 4.5. I think 4.5 is fair. In the case, like if it's easy to get Divine Shield draws, it will be a 5. For sure. I don't know off the top of my head how many Divine Shields there are. So I'm gonna go with a 4.5. Gold Shire Knoll. 10 mana 5/4 rush, costs 1 less for each other card in your hand. What? This doesn't feel worth it. Because like if you draw in the late game, it might be kind of unplayable. Like you play an 8 mana 5/4 rush or something. It feels like a constructed card to me. Like in the mid game, it's okay, but doesn't feel very good. Like a 2. My first thought is a 2. You can go with a 2. All right. That's our final card. That's a little underwhelming. We end on the Goldshire Knoll. Let's go back to a cooler card. Oh, Varian, King of Stormwind. Way better. Way better. All right, chat. So, yeah, that's all the cards. I hope you enjoyed the review. It was fun. These are always fun. A little bit exhausting, but fun. So what do we think? What classes do we think are going to be strong? I guess. Did any classes really stand out? You know, you have to think about what's coming back. Trying to think about, like, Hunter seemed like it was getting some pretty good cards. All the classes that get mounts seem like they're getting some pretty good cards. Obviously, this one is like one of our most hated cards. Fucking ramming mount, pretty nuts. Hunter and Paladin. Paladin has cards that are pretty good, but you do need to get a few of them, right? Like to make the hand buff work. So Hunter definitely stood out for me a bit. Priest has some pretty nutty ones too, like the Steed and the 1-cost Death Rattle thing. Rogue will be very fun. That's all that matters. I agree. I think Rogue will actually be a lot of fun. I'm actually feeling a little more positive about the expansion for Arena after finishing this review. Like when my initial just kind of browsing of the cards, I was kind of like, I don't know. A lot of them didn't stand out to me, but after doing it, there's quite a few cool cards and like interesting interactions, and I think tradable will be a fun mechanic overall for Arena. Like deciding when you want to trade, like, you know, this turn you have 1 mana left over. Do you want to trade now, or do you think that card that you're holding might be useful the next turn, right? Because of whatever your opponent might do. So, you know, like weighing that, like, how bad is it if you have to trade the next turn if you miss your drop or whatever? So I really think the tradable mechanic is a good mechanic for Arena. Remember, Demon Hunter is always broken at first. It depends on how they do with the micro adjustments, right? But yeah, if they take everything off, then yeah, Demon Hunter will be broken. And I think with the epic stuff, Druid will still be pretty good, right? If they don't tone it down. They lose survival, but still have some pretty crazy epics. I do think Demon Hunter got some kind of bad cards though. Like Demon Hunter lost a lot because they lost Ashes of Outland, and the cards that they got, like this card's pretty good, but I don't know. Overall, it seems a little bit underwhelming. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. I think Warrior. So we didn't talk too much about the cards that are coming back, but I think Warrior gets a lot of good cards from the previous expansions that are returning. Like Dragon's Roar will be back, so I actually think Warrior might be quite good. They keep a lot of no more Ganarg, but they still keep like Sword Eater and stuff like that. So yeah, and Warpath too. So I think Warrior might be pretty good as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give it the thumbs up and comment if you liked it, okay? Thumbs up, chat. This one's for you guys. This thumbs up, the other one is for people watching on YouTube. Double thumbs up.